About timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started Wesley Financial Group to do one thing: help people get out of their timeshare nightmare. When you buy a timeshare, the timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Want out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Summer starts now with Memorial Day appliance savings at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off. Plus, save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances from brands like KitchenAid. And right now, you can double your savings when you spend $2,500 or more. Shop in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Offer valid through 6/5. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com for more details.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
They get up every morning from the alarm clocks, wanting to take the 8:15 into the city.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to another edition of Sports 56 Mornings, the Tuesday, May 28, 2024 edition to be exact. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you. Hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend. Sure, a lot of family and friends and barbecuing and all that good stuff. The weather today, spectacular. I'll tell you about that in a moment. First of all, we're broadcasting live, as always, from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Maybe you checked them out this weekend or this past weekend. If not, go visit them. Right now, they got direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, patio furniture, and so much more. It's always a good time to stop by Family Leisure. The first hour of the program also brought to you by the Big Green Egg. As I said, weather looks to be very nice today. The sun is shining right now. We're looking at mostly sunny, a few clouds, 88 degrees for a high, and a 2% chance of rain. Good. Get that rain out of the area. Meanwhile, tonight, 65 for a low, partly cloudy skies, and then tomorrow looks to be pretty nice at 83 degrees for a high. I know we had some weather at times over the weekend. They're experiencing some bad weather right now in the Dallas area. So if you got family and friends down there, you may want to check in on them with some tornadic activity. But here, it looks to be spectacular, and it should be a nice week of weather. Coming up on the program today, we got a lot to get to. We got a lot to recap from Friday. Unfortunately, we had some sad news over the weekend, a couple of fronts that we'll talk about. Also, the NBA playoffs. The Celtics have made the finals. The Dallas Mavericks will try to follow suit tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We will discuss that. Memphis basketball. We got some recruiting news as the players have made their way to Memphis. Unfortunately, another defeat for the Showboats, 8 losses in a row. We'll talk about a great racing Sunday, including a tremendous final lap at the Indy 500. We got SEC spring meetings going on in Destin, Florida. It's all happening today on the program. We got Humdinger's Trivia also. That'll come your way to open up the second hour of the program. Mickey Barker will then follow at 9:05 as he does every week during the summer to talk some local golf. And Brent Rooker at 9:30, the all-star outfielder / DH for the Oakland A's, the pride of ECS and Mississippi State. He will join us at 9:30. Speaking of baseball, the college baseball tournament is set now as far as the 16 regional hosts and the rest of the teams that will be playing in the NCAA tournament. We'll talk about that as well on the program today. Good morning.
Good morning.
How was your holiday weekend?
It was good. Good. Played a little golf, had a little pool time, did a little cooking, the whole works. Did the whole Memorial Day trifecta.
Do you have a pool at your house?
No.
Do you have a community pool?
No.
So you just went over friends?
I went out to Colonial Country Club.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're a member. Oh, yeah. All right. Zach, he's a country club member.
It must be nice.
Yeah. He's a country club kind of guy. So I'm glad you had a great weekend. Zach, I know you had the big concert. How did that go?
Oh, it went well.
Yeah?
Yeah, no problems.
Good. I know you put a lot of work into it.
Yeah. And then the rest of the weekend, I was just as active as I was during the week. So it wasn't much of a break, but it was, we did some community work.
See, I thought you were going to go the other way. I thought you were going to say you were gassed.
I was gassed. That was the thing.
Well, I'm glad you had a good weekend as well. Hopefully everybody out there had a really good weekend. I hate to open up on a downer, but a couple of one certainly tragic story in the world of sports, and the other one just a sad, sad story. I didn't know Bill Walton had cancer. Should I have known that? I didn't know it. And he passed away over the weekend at the age of 71. You're talking about an icon in sports, not just in basketball. Most people who don't live in a cave have heard the name Bill Walton. 2 NCAA titles at UCLA, 3-time Player of the Year. He had 2 NBA titles. His career was cut short by knee injuries, but still was a Hall of Fame player. That's how good he was. He was the 77-78 season MVP in the NBA. Long-time television analyst covering mostly college basketball, Pac-12 games. Late at night, got a chance to listen to him and just go off on tangents. Nobody could do that like Bill Walton could. And then, of course, the ties to Memphis, 1973, leading UCLA to the national championship over then Memphis State in St. Louis, when Bill Walton went an unheard of 21 of 22 from the field, ended up with 44 points and 13 rebounds, unstoppable. He is one of the, in my opinion, 2 greatest players in college basketball history. Lou Alcindor, who became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Bill Walton, the greatest players to ever play the college game. And personally, I had the pleasure of being able to sit down and talk with Bill on camera for an hour for my old TV show Sports Files at WKNO Studios. He was a treat. Man, he was as crazy as you would think, going off on tangents about the Grateful Dead and rock and roll music and this and that. And we went from what was going to be a 30-minute show to making it a 2-parter because that's how good Bill Walton was. So personally, I got a chance to have said that I had an interview, a sit-down with him, one-on-one. I'll treasure that the rest of my life. But for many, many people, he touched a lot of lives. He was so popular, and he will be missed, Eli. There's no question about it.
Yeah, he's one of the great characters in sports, and obviously I think, there's a lot of people today that know him just as that character during announcing, don't realize how great of a player he was, especially during his college days, but then at the beginning of the NBA. And I don't remember him certainly as a great player. I remember him more at the end with the Celtics when he was still good, when he was healthy. But
Sixth man of the year.
And then I remember him kind of as I guess a more serious announcer in his days with the NBA early on. But then, became just such a great character and, with the college basketball games. And yeah, I mean, I always thought about Dave Pash and how you try and reel this in. I don't even know, so you just got to let it go. Sometimes you just got to let it go and let it happen. And then you try and figure out where you bring it back in. But entertaining, certainly. Always himself. That's what Bill Walton was going to be himself, whether you liked it or not. And if you wanted him, if you didn't like it, too bad. He didn't care. And just enjoyed life to the absolute fullest. That's for sure. And certainly it was, he will be missed. He was a treasure. And it's, I did find it almost, I guess, coincidental that he passes away just a couple of days after the final Pac-12 sporting event in history, that he, the conference of champions, all of that he was such a champion for that conference, that the conference goes away and then Bill Walton passes away.
And as the Boston Celtics sweep the Indiana Pacers to move into the NBA final. I don't know, symmetry, fate, whatever you want to say. But as far as the ties to Memphis and that iconic picture, the iconic photo of the great Larry Finch helping Bill Walton, who was physically drained, and I don't know if he got injured when he scored those 44 points in the national championship, two that remained joined at the hip from that game over the years. And I'm not sure what kind of relationship they have, but I would have bet that they had a relationship because of who Larry Finch was as a person and who Bill Walton was as a person. And for some of our listeners out there, obviously, the elder statesman, if you happen to be in St. Louis for the national championship game, hit us up, text in, let us know what that experience was like in '73. Certainly one that Memphis looks back on, unfortunately not fondly, as they had a chance throughout their history. They've had several chances, have come so close to winning that natty, and then having it just kind of slip through their fingers. But this one was one where they weren't going to stop Bill Walton, and nobody stopped Bill Walton. That's how dominant Bill Walton was. So, again, folks who had that experience of going to St. Louis, watching the national championship game, watching Bill Walton. I wonder for how many years people hated Bill Walton that were Tiger fans.
I'm sure a lot did. And that's an insane performance when you think about it. 21 out of 22 from the field in a national championship game. I mean, that's one of the great, all-timers. It's hard to be better, obviously. I mean, if somebody did that today, I mean, the internet would explode. Somebody in the NCAA tournament championship game going 21 out of 22 from the field.
Yeah, think about that. He totaled 44 points. So he had 21 field goals made, no three-pointers back then. He's not shooting them anyway. That's 42 of the 44. Did he miss a bunch of free throws? Did he not get to the free throw line? I don't know the box score in front of me. But I wonder if they were calling fouls or they were just letting the guys play. But again, my experience with Bill Walton, having that pleasure of sitting down and talking with this guy. And I can understand the Dave Pashes of the world. Who's the guy who's the White Sox voice, or at least I think he's the
Jason
White Sox.
Benetti.
Yeah, these guys have dealt with Bill Walton, and you have to be a pro's pro to be able to handle that as a play-by-play announcer. And just as you said, Eli, just let him do his thing because he's the show. And, that's tough because, I'm trying to get to certain questions, and I just said, the hell with this. I mean, I'm going with the flow with whatever Bill was talking about. And I was asked yesterday if you could find those shows, and I'm sure you can go to YouTube and Google Sports Files and Bill Walton, and it'll probably pop up. I think most of them, if not all of them, are available. So that was something, but that news certainly was. And again, he's 71. He's not 98. And I know he had been in some ill health at times. But as far as just recently and the basketball season, I don't. Did you hear of anything about him?
I did not know what his health situation was. No, I did not know that he had cancer or anything like that. I did not know that.
Yeah, I wonder if that just surprised a bunch of people. So, again, Bill Walton passes at the age of 71. And then earlier in the weekend, just absolutely shocking news. Grayson Murray taking his own life at the age of 30, PGA golfer who had won earlier this year in Hawaii at the Sony Open, but was playing in the event this past weekend at Colonial. Was played Thursday, played Friday. He had 2 holes to play. He was still in reach of making the cut and then withdrew. And the PGA officials or the tour or the tournament officials saying that he withdrew because of illness. And I'm sure that's what he had said, that I'm ill, told his partners, his playing partners, and then I assume went home. And once that news came out, and I knew a little bit about Grayson Murray in his past, that he's had demons, that he's had issues with bouts with depression, that I'm sure he killed himself. And then the word came down from his parents that that's what happened. And if you think that mental illness and depression is a bunch of, BS, you're sadly mistaken. It is real, and it affects a lot of lives. And you got to look for the warning signs and do what you can. But I think in this case, Eli, they did an awful lot for Grayson, an awful lot, and it still didn't help. And that's horrible. He's a 30-year-old human being that took his own life.
Yeah, I turned on the golf tournament on Saturday right at the beginning of the coverage, and they came on and announced that they had just gotten the statement, and it's shocking to hear. I mean, he's a guy that it had appeared had kind of beaten those demons. He was sober, had been sober for quite some time. He had the win earlier in the year. He had played well. He just he finished 43rd, I think, at the PGA Championship. Like he's been playing good golf. He'd been sober. It seemed as though things were good in the world of Grayson Murray, and that's unfortunately the problem with that is it can seem really good, and I'm sure a lot of folks from the outside saying, okay, look, like he's got his life turned around. Things are very positive. And
had a fiance too, correct?
And then suddenly it can all change. I mean, the idea of for the people who were playing with him or just anybody to I'm sure when he withdrew on Friday, there probably was some people thinking, okay, I hope he's okay. But I think it seems like, things are good in his life. So hopefully it is just, he's a little ill and everything will be fine. And then to get that news on Saturday for those guys, I just can't imagine, what that's like. Got to hit you like a ton of bricks. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a 30-year-old guy. And from the outside, you look at it, you go, okay, again, like this guy's making millions of dollars playing golf. Like, what can be wrong in that world? Like, that is what a great life that this guy has. But there are demons for a lot of these people, and who knows what it was that caused that, I guess, to be triggered this happening at this moment or at that moment. But yeah, it's awful stuff to see that, and when they announced it, and Trevor Immelman is literally crying on the broadcast. I mean, they were hit. I mean, you're just about to go on the air, and suddenly you're handed a statement that one of the players is dead. For those guys who knew, when they're out there on tour, they know these guys, all that stuff. It was really just kind of surreal to watch that. To think there's players out on the golf course who I'm sure were friends with Grayson Murray who don't know, and they're going to finish a round of golf and then be hit with this news of, hey, by the way, and I just can't even imagine what all those guys went through.
Yeah, I listened and watched the interviews with Peter Malnati, Webb Simpson, who was so close to Murray. Was it Harry Higgs, who won on the Corn Ferry? And what he had to say about everything, just poignant and respectful and meaningful, what those guys had to say, and others about the tragedy, the death of Grayson Murray. We'll get more on that when Mickey Barker joins us at 9:05. We'll get his thoughts on that. We'll take a time out. We'll come back. We'll talk NBA playoffs, where things stand. We got Memphis Tigers basketball to get into as well. You can hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. Can call in or text in. I do want to tell you, folks, about one of our great sponsors, Town Village Audubon Park. Senior living in today's world, located at 950 Cherry Road, just off Park Avenue, offering more options to fit your needs more than ever before. They are dedicated to the long-term satisfaction and the quality of life for their residents. During those golden years, right? You want your loved ones, your parents, your grandparents, to live like they lived during their earlier years, and they can at Town Village Audubon Park. Independent living, short-term respite stay available, monthly options. Call them at 901-537-0002 and set up a tour. Or go to townvillageaudubonpark.com, go online, find out more about them. Everything you need to continue to enjoy life to its fullest. All they ask is that you're 55 years of age or older. Some of the services and amenities include full kitchen, washer, and dryer with your apartment, all-inclusive resort-style dining with multiple venues, bi-weekly housekeeping, outpatient therapy, plus a community social area featuring a fitness center, home theater, game rooms, indoor pool, whirlpool, 24-hour pantry, on and on and on, plus 5 landscaped courtyards, resident gardening areas, dog park, gated parking, all the modern amenities you want for your loved one or for you later on in life. It's Town Village Audubon Park, 901-537-0002, or online at townvillageaudubonpark.com. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Make your next grill your last with a Big Green Egg. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Save money on fuel, eating out, and replacing expensive grills that cannot match the flavor of the Big Green Egg. Ready to cook in only 10 to 15 minutes with temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between with ease. Change your at-home cooking experience for life. Go to shop.biggreenegg.com.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
There are many real estate companies out there, but then there's Banyan Tree Realtors on the Collierville Town Square. There are hands-on, family-owned boutique real estate companies whose agents have been offering exceptional attention to their clients for over 40 years. In an ever-changing world, Banyan Tree continues to maintain a small-town personal charm while providing a worldwide connection through its internet marketing presence. Personal service will never go out of style at Banyan Tree Realtors. Their agents are people you can trust, offering service you deserve. From residential homes to commercial properties, farmland, land lots, and historical houses, Banyan Tree has the expertise you can rely on. So if you're downsizing, upsizing, moving in, or moving on, give Banyan Tree Realtors a call today. Craig Smith and Mary Jean Smith and their agents are ready to serve you. Call today at 901-620-8920 or 901-359-2520.
Everyone has dreams, and if you've been dreaming of new appliances, Appliance Liquidators can make your dreams come true at any budget. Appliance Liquidators in South Haven is family-owned with low prices on appliances along with top-notch customer service. Choose from authorized brands including Crosley, GE, Maytag, LG, Whirlpool, and more. Appliance Liquidators specializes in clearance and scratch and dent. You get quality with minor imperfections at affordable prices. Stop dreaming and start living with new appliances from Appliance Liquidators, 3320 Goodman Road East in South Haven.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Starting to build just a bit in the last few minutes out here on 40 coming westbound in from Fayette County and Bartlett. We've had to deal with some power outages. Be careful. Some of those traffic lights could be a little bit tricky or even out for that matter. And some of the power is back on again in the Wolf Chase area. Again, we had some power outages over there as well a little bit earlier. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services here in Memphis. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Boston Celtics are back in the NBA Final. I say back because they've been there so many times. Last year they were denied by Miami. Not to be denied this time around as they sweep the Pacers 4-0. But when you look at that and you say to yourself, okay, 4-0, if you didn't watch these games, you would go, that's complete dominance. They absolutely dominated the Pacers. And the Pacers were without their star, Tyrese Halliburton, in games 3 and 4. Well, that was not the case of a complete dominance. Yes, they win 4-0. They're moving on, while the Pacers are going on vacation. The Pacers, with late game execution, could be up 3-1 in this series. That's how hard those guys played, and at times how well they played, but how poorly they played in crunch time. And Boston, when they rev it up, they rev it up. They're tough to beat when they rev it up, but at times they go into cruise control. So it's one of those weird series that where 4-0 on the surface would say a complete domination. I don't think they completely dominated in this series.
No, it's probably as competitive as a sweep can be when you're talking about a couple of 3-point games, an overtime game and another one. Really, other than game 2, every game could have went either way. And the game Saturday, Indiana looked like they had it, but then you give Boston credit. They clamped down on the defensive end, and they are a fantastic defensive team and can be one of the best defensive teams in the league. And they clamped down, made the huge comeback. They can make threes. They're going to shoot a whole bunch of threes, and they start falling. That makes them difficult. And then last night, Indiana goes without scoring in the final 3:33 of the game. And it wouldn't have taken much, just a little bit in that 3:33 to give them a win last night. So, yeah, they certainly had plenty of chances. And, really, it's just been in both series. It has been late game situations that have dictated everything. It is one team making plays down the stretch and one team not making plays down the stretch. And I don't know, is it playoff experience that helps? I'm sure there's something to that. I don't know how much it helps or doesn't help or whatever, but the teams that have the experience are the ones who, in these situations, are making plays, making shots, making the defensive plays. And the teams that don't have the experience in these situations are, in a lot of situations, kind of gagging on themselves late in these games.
Well, there's truth to that. However, when you look at the coaching situation, you have a veteran coach in Rick Carlisle who has won an NBA title as the coach of the Mavericks, and Joe Mazzulla, one of the younger coaches in the NBA, and yet the criticism is on Carlisle for some things he did and some things he didn't do, and Mazzulla, really no criticism. Now, the players do a good job in bailing you out, and like I said, this series could be still going with Indiana in control, which is hard to believe, again, with no Halliburton games 3 and 4. But Boston has so many weapons. And if it's not Tatum, it's Brown. If it is not Brown, it's White. And White hit the big three last night. Got an open three in the corner. There's just too many weapons out there for Boston. And remember, they don't have Porzingis. I would imagine with the layoff they're going to have, the NBA Finals does not begin until June 6th, that Kristaps Porzingis will be available at that time. But just too many weapons. The bench wasn't great for Boston. Horford, of course, a big part of that bench now starting because of Porzingis. Indiana played out of their minds for 45 minutes. Andrew Nembhard, a 31st overall pick in the 2022 draft, looked at times like the best player on the court. Those guys really, and remember, they're without Benedict Mathurin, who I like an awful lot. He has not been available. He's been out for a long time. And no Halliburton for games 3 and 4. I don't know. I think Indiana really stepped up as far as playing hard, never quitting, showing some guts, but in the end, just horrible execution down the stretch. And maybe that has to do with the inexperience that you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, you look at just the final few minutes. Nembhard had a good look from 3, and he was on fire, like he had said. He was awesome in that game, and he gets a good look from 3 candidate. T.J. McConnell, who seemingly didn't miss that little fadeaway on the baseline every time he got it, he misses one of those that he got wide open in those final couple of minutes. Again, it's like one of those, like, does playoff experience all of a sudden make you miss or not miss? I mean, does that pressure? I don't know. But shots that they were making suddenly don't go in those final few minutes. And the other side, Derek White, was 1 for 8 from 3-point range in the game, and then gets the look, knocks it down. There's. In the end, it just comes down to making some shots or not making some shots. Pascal Siakam, a guy who does have the experience, had a couple of key turnovers. So it's just, if you're Indiana, certainly you're left like scratching your head, like, wait a second, like how in the world did we just get swept out of this? Like we had multiple games seemingly won, and somehow we're done 4-0. Like, it just doesn't. They have to be. You're going to think about this play here. Obviously, game 1, there was a million plays that you could have made. That just any one of them, you win that game. Game 2 or game 3, as you're blowing the 18-point lead, certainly the opportunities that were there. And then last night, all those shots, like any of those, like just all it took was a couple of those shots to go in, and you're winning that game. I mean, this one is one that, like, you got to be thinking, how in the world did this just happen?
Boston did what they needed to do. They needed to close them out. They did. So now they have all this time off. I don't know if it's a great thing, but it's good to have time to rest. However, the way they did it, like you just mentioned, I mean, Indiana, Miles Turner was bad yesterday. Miles Turner was in foul trouble. So he goes for 8 points. He only takes 6 shots total. He has 4 rebounds and 8 points. So Miles Turner, you could argue second, third best player on the team, is a non-factor. And there's no Halliburton. So you got Siakam, who's a very good player. But then Nembhard steps up with 24. Neesmith's got 14 points for you. I mean, Shepard's the other guy in the starting lineup. Shepard? You got Toppin coming off the bench for 12. You got McConnell going for 15. Isaiah Jackson contributed. That team is in the Eastern Conference Finals. When you look at that and you go, what? And yet they're not only hanging with Boston, they have a chance to beat Boston, which they've had every single game they played in the series, maybe with the exception of one. And here they are swept 4-0. So if you're Indiana, I know the day after you're disappointed, especially with the circumstances. But I look at it and go, you know what? It was a really good year, and now let's see what we can add. We were able to get Siakam, which was a great midseason trade. You know, what can we do to add? Does anybody want to come and play here in Indiana with Halliburton, with Turner? How long can you keep those guys? Is it a flash in the pan? Or is Indiana a team that could make a major step up to battle the Bostons, the Milwaukees, the Philadelphias?
Last night also confirmed to me, which I already knew and had been confirmed many times. I have no idea what a flagrant foul is in the NBA. I just like if a shot to the guy. There are many plays in the NBA that are less contact than what Jaylen Brown did to T.J. McConnell that are called flagrant fouls.
He almost decapitated him.
They're called flagrant fouls all the time.
Right.
And when he said that the contact didn't raise to the level of flagrant foul, what would he have had to do to make it raise to the level of a flagrant foul? I mean, he smacked him square in the nose. Like, I know it wasn't on purpose, but there's a ton of flagrant fouls that happen in the NBA that are not on purpose. Like, guys accidentally hit the guy in the head or in the face, and it's called a flagrant foul all of the time. Hell, the one with, was it Neesmith who kicked the guy in the face? Who kicked the guy in the face?
Oh, earlier the kid hit Pritchard.
Was it Neesmith? I think it was Neesmith.
I think it was Neesmith.
Like, that was clearly not a natural move with his foot. He clearly kicked backwards with his foot and kicked the guy in the head.
Yeah.
How's that not a flagrant foul? Like, you just kicked the guy in the head. Again, I don't think he didn't purposely kick him in the head, but what he did with his foot was not a natural movement. Like, you don't just jump in the air and your foot goes backwards like that, and you kicked a guy in the head. Well, how's that not a flagrant foul?
The only question, and you answered it already, we all know that intent is not a part of this because you can have an accidental smack in the face, and then they call the flagrant one. Right, if there was purpose and intent, which, of course, they're using their own opinions to come up with that, then you get a flagrant two and an ejection. But in this case, it's absolutely a flagrant one. He nearly decapitates him. And I don't know how many times I'm going to listen to Steve Javie, who's the rules expert on the broadcasts, say something, and they go the opposite way. It happens every time. And I'm not saying Javie's wrong, because Javie wasn't wrong. But I just knew once he said that, they're going to turn around and call it a common foul. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I mean, there are guys who are like in their shooting motion and will catch somebody with an elbow in the face, and they'll call it a flagrant foul.
Right.
Here are guys
jostling for a rebound. The elbow gets high.
Again, yeah, he was going for the ball, but so what? Like, he smacked the dude square in the nose. Like, I was... When he said it didn't raise to the contact did not raise to the level of a flagrant foul, does he literally have to take his head off for it to raise to that level? Like, I just don't even understand. And again, a kick to the face, if that's not a flagrant foul, I just don't know what is.
Well, do you want the game called differently in the postseason than in the regular season? Because in the regular season, they're calling that a flagrant. In the postseason,
I just want consistency of
well, you're never getting consistency with NBA officials.
That I think I think most nights in the postseason, that's just a flagrant foul in the NBA.
I know it is.
Like, on playoffs, anything. Like, a shot like that to the face, especially as they talked about the broadcast, when a guy is in a vulnerable position, like being in the air like that is, I thought 100% of the time that was a flagrant foul. Like, I don't, again,
Wait, what was the play? I remember Stan Van Gundy saying this, and I'm not sure if it was, you said it was Neesmith, maybe it was. But wasn't there a play where Turner did something and Stan Van Gundy says...
Well, Van Gundy wasn't doing the game last night.
Who was doing the game?
J.J. Redick, Doris Burke, and Mike Breen were doing
Maybe it was Redick. Maybe it was Redick who said that they're not going to eject Turner. They're not going to call him for...
Oh, that was the one where after he had gotten the technical, when he pushed Jaylen Brown, then like the next possession he was called for another offensive foul, and he... kind of slammed the ball on the ground.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. That's what. Yeah,
which I like that he did. I would agree. You don't give him a technical for that. It's not like he slammed really hard. The ball went flying everywhere. Like, I don't. Yeah, I would not have. I certainly understand not giving him a technical in that situation.
Me too. And he didn't even bounce the ball that high, right? He didn't take it and just went. But I'm telling you, during the regular season, he gets a technical foul. But during the postseason, he doesn't. So what you say about consistency, maybe you're talking about within the game, because within the season and the postseason and regular season, the game's called differently. It's absolutely called differently. But I think we're all in agreement that should have been a flagrant one. It's wild that Javi was right on it. I agree with Javi, but every time he says something, they go the opposite way. It's just crazy how that happens. All right, when we come back, we're talking Dallas and Minnesota. Can the Timberwolves stave off elimination? Or will the Mavericks sweep? And then we have to sit around for a long time and wait without any basketball before the NBA Finals begin. We'll talk Minnesota and Dallas when we return.
I was a busy man on the old Big Green Egg this weekend. Sunday, did some burgers on there last night, did a little cedar plank salmon on the Big Green Egg. Certainly hope you were taking advantage of the holiday weekend, doing some grilling, doing some barbecuing, and if you're doing it, you need to be doing it on the Big Green Egg. It is the best grill there is. Last grill you'll ever need to buy. The versatility for whatever it is you're cooking absolutely makes it so easy, out of this world, with the way you can manage heat for low and slow, or getting it super hot to sear those steaks, whatever it is you want to do. The Big Green Egg makes it very, very simple. Go to biggreenegg.com. You can get all the details, all the different sizes of the egg. Check out all the egg accessories as well for the Big Green Egg.
Throw in a salad every once in a while.
I'm not going to cook the salad on the Big Green Egg. I eat the salad.
But you still get a little salad? Okay. I want to make sure you're taking care of yourself.
I mean, you could cook a salad on there. I guess you wanted to cook a salad. I don't know why you cooked a salad.
You cooked a lot of different things on there. You talked about cooking a cake, right?
I've never done that. You can. I've never done that.
So why not a salad? All right, we'll take a time out. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Getaway Sports Bar, the best kept secret in town, open noon to 1:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Garvin, the owner, created this SEC NFL Dream Bar over 20 years ago. You'll never miss a minute of action. 10 TVs, 5 70-inch TVs for all the big games. Rack them up on 6 pool tables. Coldest beer in town, grab you a pool stick and get you some good bar grub. 100% Angus burgers, big and moist chicken tenders. Daily happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. with long neck domestics, $2.25. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester.
As the seasons change, so does the need for reliable home comfort. It's time to turn to the experts with Choates, where your family's comfort is our top priority. Right now, Choates is making it easier than ever to upgrade your home's climate control with our exceptional Carrier systems. There's never been a better time to enhance your comfort. Select from incredibly low monthly payments, 36 months no interest financing, or choose our $1,650 Cool Cash rebate instead and lower the upfront cost on select Carrier systems. It's not just savings, it's cool cash in your pocket. Low monthly payments, no interest financing, or cool cash rebates? Whatever you choose, you're choosing quality, reliability, and the trusted service of Choates. Call us today at 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com to learn more about these incredible savings. But hurry, these deals are as fleeting as a cool breeze on a hot day. Choates, let our family serve your family.
Anticipation is building for Memphis football.
3, 2, 1, that's your winner!
With a cast of returning stars ready for the big stage.
Caught! Rock Taylor! Touchdown Tigers!
The momentum for Memphis football is on the rise.
Hannigan into the end zone. Tiger touchdown. He just wouldn't be denied.
It's time to pounce. So purchase your tickets today at GoTigersGo.com.
I've got Jason, the main man marshal, here, and he's ready to start something big at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike. What's up, Jace?
Randy, I've got 42 MPG on the highway on the all-new 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE for only $249 a month. Or take your pick from the 2024 Tiguan S front-wheel drive or 2024 Taos SE. We Gossett at $279.28 a month.
That's a 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE, $249 a month. Or take your pick from 2024 Tiguan S or 2024 Taos SE, $279.28 $28 a month.
And Randy, you know the deal. Make me an offer because no reasonable offer will be refused.
Ask for Jason the Main Man Marshall at Gossett Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Pike. Online, GossettVWMemphis.com.
Where we're charging for it and charging less every day.
All 36 month lease, 7,500 miles per year. Taos RMO 51756, MSRP 26063. Tig 1 RM 103.910, MSRP 31363. Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Cross Sport RC 23649, MSRP 38981. Includes $3,000 rebate. Cannot be combined with special APR. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes fact filing license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through the end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Texter on the Sissies Log Cabin list line. Text says first team NBA players who disappear or are useless during playoff series. Number 1, D'Angelo Russell. I'd agree with that. 2, Tobias Harris. 3, Patrick Beverly. 4, Miles Turner. 5, Brandon Ingram.
James Harden's up there. I mean, only in the 7th game, right?
Miles Turner's been pretty darn good in these playoffs. Like, he was really good in the Knicks series. And in this series, he had a bad night. He alternated a good game, bad game in this series. Like, I wouldn't say Miles Turner disappeared. Miles Turner, this postseason, pretty darn good.
Yeah, but inconsistent in this series. And they could have still won that basketball game, like I said, with him having an awful game. He got into foul trouble early and often. But where would you put Harden in there? Because Harden has obviously had huge playoff games, but then in the 7th
Harden
game
is the worst Game 7 player
in history, right?
He's like the worst Game 7 star player. Like for a guy who's, star, superstar, whatever. Game 7's like it's embarrassingly bad. Like it's not even. I don't know anybody who shies from the moment more than James Harden in a Game 7.
Well, who's going to play the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals? Will it be the Dallas Mavericks up 3-0 over Minnesota? History would tell you it's going to be Dallas. What is it, 0-154? Teams down 3-0?
155 now.
155.
The Celtics were 155.
So the odds, again, are not in the favor of the Timberwolves. Can they win tonight and force a Game 5 in Minnesota? I think they can. Game 4 tonight, 7:30 TNT. The Mavs are a 2.5-point favorite. They grabbed a 3-0 series lead with an unreal game. The Mavs and the Timberwolves Game 3 on, when was it? Sunday? I'm getting my days mixed up now. Yeah, Sunday. Actually, it was the Friday game that was unreal. 109-108, Mavs win. And then on Sunday, the Mavs win 116-107. So that second game, that was the Doncic step-back triple to win it, 109-108, to grab a 2-0 lead, to win the 2 games in Minnesota, and then back to Dallas where they played on Sunday and won 116-107 and can close it out tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's late game execution, and Luka and Kyrie are dominating the end of games, especially Luka. That dude is just, man, oh man. He's what you talk about, a guy that doesn't shy away from it. Like, that's the guy you need to win a game at the end of the game. That dude, get the ball to him. He'll make a play, whether he's going to make the shot or make the play for something. Like, he just makes plays. And, for Minnesota, like, I understand that he's the defensive player of the year, all that stuff, but you can't let him try and guard Luka 1-on-1 in that situation. You just got to get the ball to Luka's hands. You can't. Luka's going to beat you. Make somebody else beat you. You have to run somebody at him and get the ball out of his hands. Bottom line. Because you know what's going to happen if he shoots it. It's going in. Like, he is as clutch as they get in the NBA right now.
That's why it's still comical. It's still comical.
He put Gobert on skates on that play.
I know. It's still comical, though, that list from the Ringer, that he's the 4th best player, 25 or younger. He's been first-team All-NBA 5 straight years. I don't get it. That's the defensive player of the year, like you said. A hulking 7-footer plus. And he destroyed him.
And I Luka loves, like, talking. When he just stares right at Rudy Gobert, it's just yelling, "You can't guard me!" Like, it's just, Luka is it's fun to watch him. And then you got Kyrie doing his thing
Kyrie's
off on the
been
side.
unbelievable.
Who's just let's go for 33 just on the side of that. Meanwhile, Karl Anthony Towns, you have people that would have disappeared in the playoffs. Karl Anthony Towns in this series, holy moly.
Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns, 0 for 8 from 3 on Sunday. 38 minutes, was 5 of 18 overall. Anthony Edwards ends up with 26, 9, and 9, even though people want to try to get on his case. Anthony Edwards has not had, a great series, but it's not horrible by any stretch. And he's a kid, man, stepping up and playing the way he's playing. But they are just outclassed in this series. Completely wrong about this one. I got Dallas right over OKC. I just didn't think the way Minnesota was playing with the weapons that they have that they couldn't do a better job defensively against Luka and Kyrie. I'm not saying hold them in check, but limit them. They can't. They can't stop these guys. As you said, 33 points for each, Irving and Luka Doncic, and they play off each other so well. How about you talk about trash talking? Doncic was being interviewed after Game 4 on Sunday, and I forget who the girl was, the woman was who interviewed him, but she asked him about what he said to Anthony Edwards. He said, I can't say it.
Well,
I can't say this on
when he joined
TV.
the set on Friday night, he was talking about Gobert, and what did he say? Something like, he can't. I can't remember what he said exactly about Gobert, but I was like, yeah, dude, like he can't stop me. Like he just doesn't care. Like once they got the switch, like it's over. He can't do anything to me. But there's the whole set. Like Minnesota is not going to win with Cat being terrible, and Cat's been terrible. Like I don't care what the other guys do. Cat is 15 of 54 for the series, and he's 3 for 22 from 3-point range. Wants to call himself the best shooting big man of all time. He's 3 for 22 from 3-point range in the series. Like if he's going to do that, Minnesota's going to lose.
Ken, look, I know Karl Anthony Towns is a very good player. I understand that. But I still believe, he's paid $34 million a year, I think it is. He's overrated. He's just overrated. He doesn't have a killer instinct. There's something missing when I watch that guy play. Whereas you look at Luka and you look at Kyrie Irving. They're killers. Kyrie Irving, and forget about the earth is flat and all that crap. That guy is dialed in. There's no better finisher in the history of the game, in my opinion, at the rim than Kyrie Irving. The angles, the English, the things that he can do. But he loves playing with Doncic. And I heard at first they weren't, there were problems with those two. And we, meaning the media, we questioned that. I certainly questioned Doncic and Irving, can it work? But I'll tell you what I did say, to pat myself on the back, when they made those moves to get P.J. Washington and Gafford, right away, I said, now it's a different team. Because now they got those players inside, along with Lively. What a pick he's been. That draft pick, Derek Lively, is playing like a 8-year veteran. So you combine that size, the ability to rebound, the ability to defend, and then a Kyrie Irving who's all in, and a Luka Doncic. And now you look at this team and go, okay, I understand why they are in the position they are in. And again, unless history is made by the Timberwolves, Dallas is going to play Boston. And I don't know right now if I don't think Dallas is going to win that series. Because I could see the bigs battling what Boston throws at him, even if Porzingis is able to play, and I think he will be. And then the guards with Luka and Kyrie and Jaylen Brown and, Tatum's a small forward, but those guys, are they going to be able to defend Luka and Kyrie? That is going to be a great storyline. But right now, I am just so impressed with Dallas, the front office, what they needed to do and the moves they made, and that Kyrie is sold on this team and the relationship he has with Doncic. It's a fun thing to watch.
No, yeah, they're both as entertaining of players as you'll find. And both are playing great. And, Lively, who's been the better they've been way better with Lively on the court than Gafford.
Right.
Lively goes out with the injury, and then Gafford at the end of the game decides he's going to be unbelievable.
Right.
He gets
the block.
He gets the block. Get the alley-oop. Again, should have been a flagrant foul. I don't know how it is in a flagrant foul when a guy goes up for an alley-oop and Rudy Gobert just shoves him in the chest, but they don't call that a flagrant foul either. But like he suddenly became like, I don't know, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at the end of that game. I'm like, what? Like Gafford's been awful. Like you think, okay, wow, Lively out of the game. They got to do with Gafford, and nope. And then PJ Washington just seems to hit a big three in every game. He can miss everything else. Like it's just, but at some point near the end of the game, he'll be left wide open in the corner, and he'll knock it down every single time. It's crazy.
That's why you can't write off athletes, no matter what sport, early in their careers, because they may be in a bad situation. And P.J. Washington, all he needed was a new lease on life. And going to Dallas and the atmosphere and the winning atmosphere and the ownership with Cuban, he's a different ball player. I mean, he's what I guess they thought he was coming out of the draft. I think he's been dynamite, P.J. Washington.
Yeah, I mean, he's hit big shots. Like he's hit massive, massive shots, seemingly in every game. Again, it seems like every game, in the final couple of minutes, there will be one play where he's left wide open in the corner, and he doesn't ever seem to miss that one. He might be 0 for the game up to that point, but he will make that key shot every single time.
Yeah, no question about it. Folks, maybe over the weekend, one of these NBA games and a lot of thrilling moments. Maybe you caught the game at the Crazy Coop and had some delicious wings to go with your viewing of the NBA playoffs or any of the other great sporting events. You could do that at the Crazy Coop. They have the big screen TVs for you to enjoy. But you're talking about America's premier wing destination with 32 delicious flavors to choose from and counting, like the Crazy Lemon Twist, a savory, zesty, and citrusy taste of fresh lemon twist, the jalapeno cheddar, an acidic and spicy flavor, completed with a burst of sharp cheddar, or the Crazy Sweet Heat, tangy sweetness followed by the heat. That's just 3 of the amazing 32 chicken wing seasonings that you can get at the Crazy Coop, located at 7199 Highway 64. It's between Appling and Kirby Whitten. It's where Bartlett meets Memphis. And that's what wings are about. It's about the flavoring that they use. I mean, most people can cook up a good chicken wing, but when it's plain, okay, it's all about what they put on it. And these seasonings are unreal. Ask about the Crazy Coop special for lunch or dinner. Choose from 3 whole wings or 6 party wings, fries, and a drink, just $9.99. They also have great catfish sandwiches, delicious half-pound burgers, great sides like fried okra, fried dill pickles, green tomatoes. They're open 7 days a week from 11 until 9, so open for lunch and dinner. Ask about their catering services as well. Make sure to find them on Instagram and Facebook, locally owned and operated. It's the Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. Add in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
It's silly season in the life of your roof. I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. The weather can be unpredictable, and I'm ready to get more life out of your roof with our award-winning Owens Corning repair team. We're the repair guys the other repair guys call when they can't find the problem. Leaks become black mold when ignored. That's why when you call me, I start my inspection in the attic. Is it time for a beautiful new roof? 867-0303. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you an estimate right over the phone. The best warranty in the business, including a warranty against ice dams. The only roofer in Memphis to offer a warranty against water intrusion due to snow buildup. Ask about military and first responder discounts. 901-867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Tuning into this station was the first best thing you have done today. This is Sheldon Rosengarten, and I'm with you, Mallory, and we are both with Mark's Benstorff Realtors. You, what's the next thing we can advise people to do if they are selling their home?
The next best thing? Remember, Sheldon, the real estate market is changing, and you need honest, forthright help navigating the new environment. Doing it on your own is like driving a car in a blinding snowstorm.
Correct, you. The upcoming changes will mean a lot for both buyers and sellers, and that's why we always advise people to talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that we are one of them.
Sheldon, 2 to 3 real estate brokers? Really? Like 2 to 3 tee shots you always take?
Yes, you. It's important to have a choice, whether in real estate or in golf. Now, back into the fairway, and to find out how you will move you, call him at 497-9756, or find out why they often say when you want the job done, call Shell Done at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's 483-0546.
Get ready, because the Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Summer Sales Event is on, and now is the best time to buy. You want 43 MPG Highway? We Gossett in 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, $18,960 or $279 a month. 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, we Gossett, $27,350 or $399 per month. And your summer adventure starts with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE, we Gossett, $29,865 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
Mirage RHFO 9083, MSRP 19460. Sport RUO 110 764, MSRP 28070. Outlander RZO 53896, MSRP 30895. PF 695, acquisition fee 595, 15 cents excess mileage, excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid to end of the month with approved dealer stock only.
This traffic report brought to you by Appliance Liquidators with low prices and top-notch customer service. Appliance Liquidators, 3320 Goodman Road East in South Haven.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Traffic's been tied up just a bit in certain areas up in Bartlett from some power outages. Be careful of some of those traffic lights. EMS was on the scene of a call just a few minutes ago on 240 East over here at Lamar. That did have traffic running a little bit slow in that area there on 240 East. We're hoping that's going to start to move a little bit better as traffic starts to crank up even more in the last few minutes on 40 westbound coming in from Fayette County. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:03 the time. Welcome in if you're just tuning in. Hope you had a great holiday weekend. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you on this Tuesday, May 28th, 2024, broadcasting live and in color from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 71 degrees. We'll get up to 89 today, mostly sunny, a few clouds, but should be a pretty nice day. Then tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies and a low of 65 degrees. James Gaddis Jewelers is the second-hour sponsor of Sports 56 Mornings. I'll give you some more details on James Gaddis Jewelers in just a moment, but it is Tuesday. It's time for Humdinger's Trivia.
That's right. An opportunity to win a $25 gift certificate to Humdinger's. Of course, with it being Tuesday, and I know you may not seem like Tuesday, but it is Tuesday. That means it's Taco Tuesday over at Humdinger's. Their chicken and fish tacos, just $2 each. That's each and every Tuesday, all day long. Of course, beyond the tacos, so many great things on the menu over at Humdinger's, from their grilled fish options to the crispy fish and chips to the chicken to the various appetizers like the Humdinger shrimp or the crab cakes, the sandwiches, salads, all kinds of great stuff. Fantastic sides they have, like that grilled zucchini. There's so many different items you can choose from. Over at Humdinger's, Poplar and Massey is where you'll find them. You can find them online, humdingersrestaurant.com. You can check out the entire menu online. You can get information on catering. If you need an event catered, they certainly can do that for you, and going to make a lot of folks very happy if you have Humdinger's catering that event for you. Get all the information you need on the website, humdingersrestaurant.com. If you are the first to answer our question correctly, then you will win that $25 gift certificate. You can answer via text on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 901-360-8255. That's 901-360-8255. Text in those answers. And again, the first correct answer will get the $25 gift certificate to Humdinger's. Here is the question. The Boston Celtics, with their win last night, sweeping the Eastern Conference Finals, this was their 23rd trip to the Eastern Conference Finals in their history. There are two teams that they have played more than anybody else in the Eastern Conference Finals. Which two teams have the Celtics played more than anybody else in the Eastern Conference Finals? 360-8255, 360-8255. Text in those answers. Again, you have to have two teams that they have played more than anybody else in their 23 trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. Text in at 360-8255, and first correct answer will get that $25 gift certificate to Humdinger's. Got a text from Ron. He says, I was wrong to think so highly of Minnesota. I thought they were going to win the title. Well, today they looked really good through the first couple of rounds, and it just has not gone well in this series. And the thing is, presumably they will lose the series. Again, nobody's ever done it. It's coming back from 3-0, so you would think they're probably going to lose the series. Then it becomes decision-making time for the Timberwolves, and they got a lot. The popular opinion now seems to be that they're just going to run it back. Now, granted, you've got the ownership battle going on, so we don't even know for sure who will make the decision on what will happen with the team going forward, because we don't know who the owner will be. But the popular opinion out there seems to be they'll run it back. Now, that would be really easy if you went to the NBA Finals. You go, okay, or especially if you won the championship, you go, yeah, regardless of how much money it's costing us, we're going to run this back. If you get swept out of the Western Conference Finals, does that change your mind at all about what you want to do? Their top 6 players combined to make over $174 million next year. That's just 6 guys, $174 million. So by the time you finish the roster, you are going to be well into the tax, probably into the first apron, and maybe more.
But the salary cap's going up.
No, but next year's cap is going to be around 179 is going to be the tax level. Like it's going to, that pretty much we know the estimates and all that stuff. So it's going to be a lot of, Gobert is extension eligible. There's talk that he probably will want an extension, will ask for an extension. Are you willing to extend him? If so, what kind of money are you talking about? He's under contract for next year, then has the player option for the following year. It's 6 guys at $174 million in a market like Minnesota does not work very well.
Yeah, but you're seeing that in the playoffs, you only need 6, 7 guys, as long as they're healthy. You don't need 10, 12 guys to play in the playoffs. I think if you're...
But you are required by league rules to have them, and that's going to make you a big-time tax-paying team. And in Minnesota, that's not smart.
Well, you put a bunch of guys in that played for the damn Grizzlies last year, one of their 40 players. Look, I think you run it back if you're Minnesota. You took a major step forward. You committed to Gobert. I mean, I don't know if you're long-term committed to Gobert. You got a stud in Anthony Edwards. Now, Conley's long in the tooth. I think you run it back for a year. I don't think you make any changes, minor changes to complete the roster. You hang on to Naz Reid. I know around here, Memphians would love Naz Reid on the Memphis Grizzlies. I think you run the darn thing back because they've already exceeded expectations, at least expectations from around the league for people who cover the teams and cover the NBA. Maybe not their own expectations. But, yeah, I think you run it back. Now, this wasn't, they lost because, and it's not over yet officially, but they didn't lose because of youth. They have a combination of youth and veterans. Mike Conley's a veteran. Kyle Anderson, by the way, another former Grizzly, like Conley, played great the other day. He played fantastic. So I was rooting for Minnesota because of Conley, and a little bit for Slow-Mo, and Josh Minot's on that roster, the former Memphis Tiger. And I'd love to have seen those guys go to the final. It's not going to happen. Now, Boston's in, and they have the X-Man, Xavier Tillman. Xavier Tillman Sr. is a part of the Celtics. However, I can tell you this right now. Even if especially if Minnesota makes the miraculous comeback, I'm rooting for Minnesota. But I'm taking Dallas. I'm taking Dallas in that series. I'm rooting for Dallas. I don't know why. I just don't like Boston. I guess that's the Philadelphia person in me. But getting back to your point, no, I don't think Minnesota should implode this thing or whatever, blow it up. I think they should run it back. I really do.
Be a second apron team in Minnesota and then lose in the playoffs again next year.
So that guesstimate on the salary cap, was that before the news came out the other day about how much the salary cap is going to increase?
We already know next year's. I mean, pretty close. It's $179 million is going to be the first apron. $189 million is going to be the second apron.
What was it this year?
I don't remember what this year's is.
But it's an increase.
Yeah, so it goes up a little bit, yes. It goes up pretty much. And then after that, when the new TV deal kicks in, it's going to go up basically 10% every year. But next year, the old TV deal's already in place. Everybody already knows what next year's is going to be. Pretty much. I mean, it won't be official, but we all know the league even gives the estimate of what it's going to be. And $179 million is going to be the first apron. Again, they got 6 guys that put them at nearly $175.
Okay. Want to switch gears, talk some Memphis Tigers basketball. Yes, basketball, because Penny Hardaway made the statement that he wanted his team in town, ready for off-season workouts by June 1st. Well, by golly, everybody right now who has signed with Memphis, all the transfer portal guys, plus the true freshman, Jared Harris, and the returning big man, Nicholas Jourdain, are here. They're all here. They're all accounted for, according to reports out there from both Parthu Pajai, who will join us on the show tomorrow, and Jason Munns. They're all here and accounted for. Now, is that the complete roster? I don't believe so. I still think Penny needs to add another big, even after Cisse, but I'm not sure what's available out there and what his game plan is. There was the report over the weekend that Penny has interest in a guard from Portugal, Portuguese guard Daniel Vieira Tuck, who is visiting today. Again, according to reports, is on campus today, but he is an explosive, I mean, if you've seen his video, explosive guard who's got a great vertical, but he's a 6'2 guard. So that's another guard. They have a lot of guards, a lot of wings. As far as the bigs are concerned, Tyreek Smith can play big. He's a physical guy at 6'8", I think he is. Cisse, obviously, defensive purposes, horrible offensive player.
and then you have Dane Danger. Nicholas Jourdain has the ability to play a little bit inside, but I think he's more of an outside 4, shooting threes, as he shot threes over 40%. So I don't know. I don't know if Penny will add another one, but they're looking at the kid from Portugal today on campus. We'll see if he goes after another big. But as Penny said, he wanted these guys in place, and they are in place, which is a lot different than it was the last couple of years. Now, there's still one big name that's out there that has not yet made a decision, and that is David Jones. And David Jones has until tomorrow night at 11:59, I guess Eastern time, to announce whether or not he's staying in the NBA draft or he's withdrawing and heading back to school. And there has been no indication. There's been a number of players who have decided to go back to school. I wonder, the longer this goes, I mean, and obviously tomorrow's the deadline, that he's going to stay in the draft. I don't know. He's had some individual team workouts. He did not have a great combine, according to everything I read. It makes sense for him to come back. I'm sure he'll do very, very well with NIL, even though he's a foreign player. I don't know. To me, I know Penny's been consistent saying 70-30, 70-30. Maybe he knows a lot more that he's not sharing with people. But I wonder, David Jones kind of pushing this to the very end.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been working out for some teams and wants to get as many of those workouts in or whatever. I don't know what his schedule is, but we'll know one way or another tomorrow night, I guess, whether he is staying in the draft or maintaining his college eligibility.
Yeah, could happen any moment. Could happen later today. May not happen until the deadline. And if you don't hear it after tomorrow night, then he's staying in the NBA draft. I've always thought he was a second-round guy. He didn't perform that way in the combine. There's a lot of things he has to get better at. But who knows? All it takes is working out for an individual team and that team giving him a promise that we're going to take as a two-way guy. We'll guarantee you that. And to me, if you're going two-way, NBA, two-way guy, you go, even in this day and age of the NIL and the money that you can make.
We did not have a correct answer yet in the Humdingers trivia. I will give you a hit here in just a moment. The question again is, which two teams have the Celtics played the most in their 23 trips to the Eastern Conference Finals? Now, you don't get to guess again if you've already guessed, but I'll give you a hint if you haven't guessed. The Knicks are not one of them. Because pretty much everybody has said the Knicks so far. The Knicks are not one of the two teams. They have played two teams more than they've played the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. So do not include the Knicks amongst your guesses. 901-360-8255, 360-8255. $25 gift certificate to Humdingers. The two teams the Celtics have played the most in the Eastern Conference Finals in their history. Again, they've made 23 trips to the Eastern Conference Finals counting this season.
If you missed our first hour of the program, we talked about the loss of Bill Walton, the Hall of Famer, the icon, my personal experiences with Bill Walton, and I had the pleasure to sit down and interview him for an hour for Sports Files. It was a treat. And obviously other people have had their experiences with Bill Walton. I asked the question, if any of you guys out there, the older generation, had a chance to go to St. Louis in '73 to watch Memphis State play UCLA in the national championship game and watch Walton unfortunately torch the Tigers for 44-13, hitting 21 of 22 field goals. If that is the case, text in. Let us know on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines, 901-360-8255. We talked about the sad news, the tragic news of Grayson Murray taking his own life, the PGA golfer, and, of course, plenty on the NBA playoffs. Want to move on to some baseball news. I mean, Bill Walton obviously was the big story in the sports world over the weekend, in a weekend that saw a lot of things, including the Indy 500, the Coca-Cola 600. But when Angel Hernandez, that news came out yesterday that he was retiring, mid-season, mind you, right? He's not retiring at the end of the year. This is happening.
Today?
People had a celebration.
God bless, they should.
I mean, fans, I'm sure, players alike, responses from analysts and play-by-play guys. And for a guy who was looked at as a horrendous umpire, how he was able to stay in that job for all these years, I don't know what that says about Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's a good day in baseball. I had not realized he actually hadn't been working games. He hadn't worked a game since May 9th.
Why? Is it health reasons? I certainly hope not. I
think baseball, they just replaced him on his crew, and I think
enough is enough after all these years.
Yeah, I think this is it's a forced retirement. Like, this is like, listen, we're done. Like, you've been awful for long enough. Like, it's time to end this whole thing. So
it starts now. Now we don't.
They got tired of all the complaining and everything else, I guess, and finally said, "All right, you're not going to work." And then now he's realized, because he reached a settlement with them, a financial settlement for this retirement. So this is basically a forced retirement that you're done,
right?
And it's a good day in baseball that Angel Hernandez is no longer working baseball games.
How many years did he have left on a contract? Did they sign multiple? I guess multi-year contracts. Or maybe it was just for the rest of this year and they sign year by year. I don't know. So who is now the most hated umpire out there?
I'm not sure.
Who's got that badge of honor now?
He was so far ahead of everybody else that it's hard to determine.
Of course, we have a friend of the show who's an umpire who we love and does a great job, and that's our friend Andy Fletcher. But, yeah, I've never seen I got to go back to Deckinger with the whole Cardinals thing.
He's the one that had the call in 85.
Right. That had, of an umpire that, to me, caught the most flack, and it lingered for years and years and years, but consistently bad, inept, is what they called Angel Hernandez. So that news yesterday the sports world went crazy over that.
Drew texted, says CB Bucknor is now the worst. Yeah, he's one of the bad ones.
I've heard his name.
Listen, there's still some bad umpires out there. But Angel, it's hard to get a universal opinion on who the worst one is, but Angel was able to corner the market on that. Like, there was no argument. Like, it was 100%. Everybody believed Angel Hernandez was the worst umpire. Which is an amazing thing. It's really an amazing feat to unite the world in that opinion.
What are fans going to do and teams going to do when the robo umpires come in? Can they hate a robo umpire? I hate Mega 72456. I mean, gosh, his calls.
They'll yell at games because they won't realize that it's actually the robo umpire making the calls. Until after a few years, they'll maybe finally realize that it's actually the robo umpire making the call. But and that's, I mean, for these umpires today, like, the fans watching the game can tell every one of your ball strike calls.
Right.
You know, in the old days, you didn't, like, the old umpires didn't have to worry about that. Like, you might go, it looked like it was outside or whatever. But now, like, they literally break down after every game. This is how many calls he missed. This is, like, the worst miss he had. It was 6 inches off the play. Like, you get a grade, like, on the internet after every single game. They will grade you and tell you he missed 22 calls, or he missed this, or he missed this one that was 6 inches outside, or this one. I mean, it's like on the Cubs broadcast now, they do the umpire tendency. They'll tell you the home plate umpire. Is he a pitcher-friendly umpire, hitter-friendly umpire? Is he good for left-hand hitters, right-hand hitters? Like, what part of the plate does he call more strike? Like, it's like they have literally the whole thing. You know everything about these umpires of every game, every ball strike call they make, let alone the stuff they do on the bases.
Do we dare ask Brent Rooker about his thoughts on Angel Hernandez when he joins us?
He might have had a run-in with. That's the thing about Angels. He's so confrontational as well. Like, but he just. So I'm sure there's a chance he's probably had a run-in with Angel. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody put together a highlight package of all of his calls and stuff, and I went through and like watched the entire video.
Hours. It's gonna be hours long, though, right?
It's oh man, it's so bad.
Well, I guarantee you, when they came up with the technology for that box on television when you watch a game where you see the ball either in the strike zone or out of it, man, umpires had to hate that when they saw that. They knew they were dead in the water, man. There was no way they were going to survive that. One other baseball note, bad news for the Braves. I hate to hear this as a Phillies fan, but no, in all seriousness, I hate to see injuries. Ronald Acuna Jr. out for the season. Another torn ACL. It's happened to him now twice.
Yeah, that was awful. When he went down, it did not look good. If you're a Braves fan, I guess you maybe hoped it was like a hamstring or something like that, but it did not look good when a guy just goes down the way he did. And that's the worst news you could have gotten, I guess, probably would be the ACL. So huge loss for Atlanta, obviously, when you talk about the reigning MVP of the league.
Mm-hmm. Second hour sponsor of Sports 56 Mornings is James Gaddis Jewelers, your family's jeweler. 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. I drive by them every day, both to and from work. I'm sure you folks have done it a million times. If you haven't stopped by, if you're in the market for jewelry, what are you waiting for? They are your bridal, engagement, and anniversary jeweler headquarters. If you plan on getting engaged this summer, pop in the question. You want a beautiful engagement ring. And James Gaddis Jewelers has variety for you. All their diamonds are independently graded and certified. They know there's a lot of competition, so they make sure they have a price point to suit everyone's budget. Maybe you're not looking for an engagement ring or a wedding ring. Maybe you're looking for a beautiful watch. They have watches of all types, beautiful watches, plus bracelets, necklaces, earrings, pendants, gemstones of all types, one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. They'll buy your gold, your silver, and your diamonds. They will give you top dollar for those items. Plus, if you need something appraised, James is a master jeweler and a certified appraiser. Just bring it all in. For simple cleanings, for resettings, they are full-service jewelers with 2 bench jewelers ready to serve you. Your one-stop shop for all your jewelry needs. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, on the web at gaddisjewelers.com.
Still no correct answer. We've had the correct teams mentioned, but nobody has gotten the right teams in combination.
Oh, I have faith in our listeners. They'll figure it out.
Which 2 teams have the Celtics met the most in the Eastern Conference Finals? You got to have both teams. Again, if you've already guessed, you don't get another guess. I did give you the clue that the Knicks are not one of them. They haven't met the Knicks in the conference finals since 1974.
I mean, it's an obvious guess. I
would have
guessed
them 3 straight years, 72, 73, 74. And then we have not had a Celtics-Knicks conference finals since. So there's not many Knicks-Celtics conference finals in my lifetime, which is pretty crazy to think. But which 2 teams have they played the most in the Eastern Conference Finals? Text in 901-360-8255. The first correct answer will get a $25 gift certificate to Humdingers. Again, there are 2 teams that you need to have, and you have to have them in the right, have you have to have both of them in order to be correct.
When we come back, John Calipari strikes gold again in the portal, although it shouldn't come to a surprise. We'll talk NCAA baseball. The baseball tournament is set. Who's going to be hosting one of the 16 regionals from the SEC? We'll tell you about that. Plus another poor showing by the Showboats, unfortunately. Little Stanley Cup playoff action and a great race day on Sunday in NASCAR and in the Indy Racing Series. All that, plus your calls and texts. We open up the phone lines to you. The Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. Jeff Crane will not be with us today. I think we've rescheduled Jeff for Friday. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
It's time to get to Gossett Kia on the Pike so Bobby J can put you in your new Kia today. Want summer fun and 41 MPG? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win? $249 a month. Get extra room and extra fun with 2024 Kia Telluride LX. $357 a month, both $39.99 due at signing. All 24-month lease plus 0% APR for 48 months. Available on the all-new Kia EV9. And peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So hurry to Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike. Online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Include all rebates and incentives. Price excludes $695 PF. Lease includes PF $695, $650 acquisition fee, EV6 P5610964, MSRP $50,200, Telluride RG $510,849, MSRP $38,305, Forte LXS RE78169, MSRP $21,820. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
Make your next grill your last with a Big Green Egg. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Save money on fuel, eating out, and replacing expensive grills that cannot match the flavor of the Big Green Egg. Ready to cook in only 10 to 15 minutes with temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between with ease. Change your at-home cooking experience for life. Go to shop.biggreenegg.com.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit. Credit for deciding while stuck in traffic to get a bachelor's degree. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. Plus, get your application fee waived through May 31st. Flexible online and hybrid classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I've got Rockin' Ronnie Smith on the line at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. And Ronnie, it's the season for the Memorial Day sales event.
It's time to rock, Randy, in your new 2023 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4-wheel drive. $25,889 or $389 a month. That's $5,206 off MSRP. How about a 2024 Dodge Hornet GT all-wheel drive, packing up to 268 horsepower, plus 295 pound-feet of torque, $32,320, plus power up in our 2023 Dodge Charger SXT 4-door, $28,072. That's over $9,000 off MSRP.
So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike, or online anytime, GossettMotorCars.net. All 75 months at 8.99 APR, 3,500 down, Renegade Triple P 56,520, MSRP 31,095, Charger PH 636,171, MSRP 37,120, Hornet R3A 152,64, MSRP 34,820. Price includes all rebates and incentives and excludes PF 695. Payments includes PF 695. All exclude tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Dealer stock only.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It's finally picking up over here in the last few minutes on 40 westbound, coming past Germantown Parkway all the way up to Sycamore View Road. Inbound on Sam Cooper has picked up also with a little bit more volume just in the last few minutes. Watch for some radar still out here in that southern portion of DeSoto County coming up through Coldwater as it picks up with more volume now. Northbound on 55 as you come up through South Haven. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
All right, I'm going to give you another hint.
Man, they still haven't gotten this
Suddenly
thing?
we have switched off to another team here. The Pistons are also not one of them. So do not have Detroit or the Knicks in your answer. Among the two teams that the Celtics have played the most in their Eastern Conference Finals trips. 23 trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. There are two teams they've played the most. The Pistons are not one of them. The funny thing, like just about every guess has had one of the two. But nobody's been able to put the two together. We've had a lot of the one and a lot of the other, but nobody's been able to put the two together. Most of them have either had the one with the Knicks or one with the Pistons.
Well, during the break, I said to Eli, okay, is it this one team? I said, because it's pretty obvious. And he said, yes. And then I said, well, this other team's pretty obvious too, but that'd be really easy. And so I said instead, the Pistons. And he said, no, you're wrong about that one. And so I said, well, which one is it? It was the other one I had thought of. They're two obvious ones. Somebody's got to get this and get it soon because just do the math, man. There's a lot of bad Eastern Conference teams.
Text in 360-8255, 360-8255. Again, if you already guessed once, you don't get another guess. The two teams the Celtics have played the most in the Eastern Conference Finals. First correct answer gets the $25 gift certificate to Humdingers. So you can go over there and enjoy some delicious food. But, again, we've had a lot. The one, we've had a ton with that one. The other one here recently, everybody has gotten onto that one, but they didn't put it with the original. So we're still battling this out, trying to find a correct answer. But, again, no Pistons, no Knicks. I'm telling you, do not include those two because they are both incorrect.
Somebody will get it in the next 3 minutes. That's my prediction. They're going to figure out what I just said. All right, so a lot of other things happened over the weekend in the world of sports, including some more portal news. And to be expected, DJ Wagner, the son of former Tiger DeJuan Wagner, the grandson of Milt Wagner, who had committed to John Calipari at Kentucky. It took a while, but he has committed to John Calipari at Arkansas. So John has slowly but surely built his team. It's going to be a brand new team at Arkansas, but a lot of possibilities with a lot of talented players.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise. He's going to bring good players. He bringing a lot of guys from Kentucky with him. Now, a lot of those guys, it didn't go well for Kentucky with all those guys. So we'll see. And they're losing some really good ones from that Kentucky team that will not be with him at Arkansas. But he's also brought some other guys in. We'll see what John's able to do at Arkansas.
Yeah, it has to be the right combinations. You know, if John didn't get it done at least the one time or the only time at Kentucky, then you have to really question what he's doing. But they did win a national championship. Of course, at Kentucky, they expect to have 10 during his tenure. That wasn't the case, but Arkansas fans are excited. They should be excited, but I have no idea what to expect. And I also don't know who now is the top player that's still in the portal because there's still a lot of players in the portal. I just don't know how good some of those players are. With DJ Wagner still in the portal up until over the weekend and that news, and they may have known the news for a while there, he was certainly a player with a lot of potential, but there's got to be some decent names still out there and still available.
Well, speaking of Arkansas, Trevon Brazile just took himself out of the draft.
Oh, he did.
And he's now
huge.
He's now in the portal. Now, I guess he could still end up back at Arkansas, but I think he's in the portal and making a decision. But that's a really good player that is now available after he removed himself from the draft.
Penny, how much money you got left? Oh, man.
I'm going to guess not enough.
Oh, man. Well, we'll see what David Jones does. Gosh, Brazil, I love him. He is absolutely terrific.
Right now, the top portal player is Jameer Watkins. I think he was with Florida State last season.
And that's probably, I would assume that's before Brazile.
Yeah.
Withdrew.
Brazil is fantastic. That'd be something if John Calipari could keep him at Arkansas, if he even intends to. I mean, he cleaned house when he took over. All right, Sunday. The Memphis Showboats lose for the 8th straight time. They get beat by the DC Defenders 36-21. It has been It's been a disaster. Eli's the voice and does a great job calling those games. I went over for the first half, Eli, and I got to be honest with you. I don't know. Maybe you don't feel the same way. I don't think they competed. That was the first time I've seen them because I've watched them a lot on TV, and they've been competitive in a lot of the games. But that one felt like they didn't come out and compete. And that bothers me more than anything. Again, you're in a weird position, not a weird position, but in a different position to really comment on that. But that's the way I felt. And they lose again on a weekend when there were a bunch of upsets in the UFL. San Antonio beat Birmingham 18-9. That was a 15-game winning streak snap. Birmingham hadn't lost. You have to go back to last season. St. Louis, they're going to the playoffs. They lost to the Renegades 36-22. That's Arlington. And then the Panthers of Michigan did beat the Roughnecks 26-22. So only one of those three games went as predicted. But your thoughts on the Showboats? They lose by 15 at home to D.C.
I mean, it's just another. I mean, it's pretty similar to the rest of the games. They're just defensively, they just don't stop anybody. What I thought this defense was going to be, and even through, well, especially through a week and a half, what I thought the defense was compared to what it is like I couldn't be more wrong. but like I wasn't the only one that thought that.
No.
They were good last year. They brought back a lot of guys from last year. They added obviously some really talented guys from around the league. But for whatever reason, they just don't stop anybody. I mean, they give up nearly 70% completion. Actually, it's over 70% completion now for the season. They give up over 40 or over 50% third down conversions. They just don't ever get stops. I mean, other than the interceptions, which they hadn't been getting turnovers. That was early in the year. Last year they got a lot of turnovers. This year they started getting turnovers, and they hadn't been getting any turnovers. They finally get a couple of interceptions. But Jordan Ta'amu picked them apart. I mean, went 20 of 24. He had with the two interceptions. So he had two incomplete passes on the entire day. Like they just quick passing just kills them. God, and quarterbacks continue to pick them apart. And it's just been one game after another. You know, they give up. That's the season high for the defenders. I think there's at least 3 teams that have their season high against the Showboats. They've given up at least 30 points, which there's not a ton of 30-point games in the league because the clock rules are not as many possessions. They've given up at least 30 in 6 of their last 7 games now. I mean, it's just defensively, it has been an absolute disaster. And they dig themselves big holes early on, and they just never get out of them. They give up. It's a clockwork that in the final 2 minutes of the first half, they're going to give up points. It doesn't matter how much time is remaining when the other team gets the ball; they will score in the final 2 minutes. And the game the other day was lost in that stretch. They cut the lead in half. It's 14-7, and then they give up the touchdown right at the end of the half. And then DC gets the ball to start the second half, and they score another touchdown. So it goes from 14-7 to 30-7, with the Showboats having the ball for 14 seconds in that entire stretch. And the game's over at 30-7. The game's over.
Well, look, the weather was nice. There was nobody there. I mean, there has to be reorganization for what will happen next year because, as Steve Macy said, the league's back and the Showboats are going to be back. And hopefully, for the sake of trying to turn it around here in Memphis, they will allow these teams to play in their home city. They really need to be able to connect with the city. But it's, back to the drawing board to get a team that's competitive. That's the first and foremost, is to have a competitive team to excite the fan base. And it's just that second game, that collapse at the end was a disaster. They've never recovered. I just didn't think they competed in this game. Cornell Lake, he will be fired. There's no question about it. I don't know about the head coach. We'll see what happens with Flip, but they will have to make moves. But what will happen with the league? The league's coming back. The Showboats are coming back from everything we've heard. But will the league make it easier for these cities to have success And it'll still be a challenge. Don't get me wrong. It won't be easy, but it'll be easier if the team's in the city. Because right now, there's a disconnect. Not only because the team's bad, but there's just a disconnect. I thought we'd have not a big crowd, but thought it'd be decent because the weather turned out all right. And it wasn't. And there's still one more game to go. Sunday night will be their final game. I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about it after this weekend's game, next week on the show about the history here. Because I want it to succeed. I certainly want to. I know there have been a lot of teams that have not succeeded here in Memphis, but this one is in place to have at least another year. The TV ratings are pretty good. So, and I still think it's a pretty decent brand of football. It's just that the Showboats aren't right now, and they were playing competitively even in losses, and they didn't on Sunday, and I thought that was disappointing.
Wook Dog on YouTube says, simple as the Showboats, just a bad team and product. Memphis don't support losing teams, just facts.
Big part of that, yeah.
Again, I'm not surprised that. Again, I would like to have seen more support earlier in the year. But again, this is a league issue. It's not just here in Memphis. It's not. There's one market that is really supporting this, and that's it. That's St. Louis. Again, Birmingham basically never loses, and they average about 10,000 fans. So the league certainly has to find a way. It was hot on Saturday, and with the day games, with the current setup, fans are in the sun the entire game. With those, it would have been nice to have some more Sunday, some more night games. They will finally get a night game, but the team's 1-8. And, right. Yeah, in this city, it doesn't matter who it is. Like, we watch it with the Grizzlies, the Tigers, whoever it is. I mean, the Tigers, when they were losing, had 2,000 fans at games. Like, it's just, they're not going to support that. But, next year, again, presuming the Showboats are here, they'll become the first ever to reach 3 seasons here. But it's, it would be great to get more support, but certainly the team has to win. Be better than what they are, and hopefully they will be better than what they are right now, and hopefully some of the game times and kickoff times will be much better next year. I know the league does understand some things that they want to try and do better to help out these markets, but yeah, with 8 straight losses or 7 straight losses coming into this past week, I'm not surprised. I did not expect there to be a whole lot of fans in attendance on Sunday. Somebody else says it's minor league football. We got other stuff to do once it gets over 80 degrees. I understand, like people say, it's hot, like especially if you're sitting in that sun for 3 hours. I understand that. Like it's going to be warm out there. That's why I wish there was more night games. We finally get one, but it's a Sunday night. They didn't get any Saturday night games. Their Saturday games were 11 a.m. kickoffs.
I still think they should start right after the Super Bowl. They should start the week after the Super Bowl and keep that high going of football. I know it's not NFL football. Nobody believes it's NFL football. But you have football, and there's always that need for football. It's the number one sport. And if you have it continuing, then maybe there's some excitement for it. Plus, you're talking about cooler weather, football weather. I think it's a better opportunity to have it earlier, and it's a great opportunity if you get this team in the city where they can relate, the fans can relate, and the players can get out there in the community. They're doing the best they can, but they're here for one day, Friday, and then they play on Saturday or Saturday, Sunday. It's ridiculous. If they can get them here, maybe they can build something, but right now it's trouble.
All right, we do have a winner. We actually had a few people that ended up with the correct answer, but one beat the others with the correct answer for the Humdingers Trivia. The correct answers were the 76ers and the Heat, who the Celtics have each played 4 times in the Eastern Conference Finals. So the 76ers and the Heat were the correct answers. Again, one person among those that did get it right was faster than the others after all the hints and everything else. But we will notify you, the one who is the winner will be notifying you via text and letting you know how you get your prize. A $25 gift certificate to Humdingers will be coming your way. Moving can be stressful. And if you've got a move coming up, maybe you're moving to a new home, maybe it's a new office space, whatever it is, Maybe it's across town, cross country, wherever you're going. You need to get the professionals to help you. Don't try and do it yourself. Get the professionals from Black Tie Moving. Give them a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis. Talk to the folks at Black Tie. They'll work with you coming up with that plan for your move, fitting both your needs and fitting your budget as well. And you'll get a no-obligation quote up front from Black Tie Moving. During the move, you got a moving concierge available to you 24/7 to answer any questions that might come up during the process. They are the professionals. They're going to make sure that they take the stress, the worry out of it. You're not going to have any issues when you go with the folks at Black Tie Moving. Again, 901-316-6196 or blacktiemoving.com/Memphis.
All right, when we come back, a couple of other topics that we haven't touched on yet, including the SEC spring meetings that are underway in Destin, Florida. We'll tell you what Commissioner Greg Sankey had to say. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. Add in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village. There are many real estate companies out there, but then there's Banyan Tree Realtors on the Collierville Town Square. There are hands-on, family-owned boutique real estate companies whose agents have been offering exceptional attention to their clients for over 40 years. In an ever-changing world, Banyan Tree continues to maintain a small-town personal charm while providing a worldwide connection through its internet marketing presence. Personal service will never go out of style at Banyan Tree Realtors. Their agents are people you can trust, offering service you deserve. From residential homes to commercial properties, farmland, land lots, and historical houses, Banyan Tree has the expertise you can rely on. So if you're downsizing, upsizing, moving in, or moving on, give Banyan Tree Realtors a call today. Craig Smith and Mary Jean Smith and their agents are ready to serve you. Call today at 901-620-8920 or 901-359-2520.
Includes all rebates and incentives. Price excludes 695 PF. Lease includes PF 695. 650 acquisition fee. EV6 P5610964. MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG 510 849. MSRP 38305. Forte LXS RE 78169. MSRP 21820. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
I got Jeff Allen on the line to hear about some crazy deals happening at Gossett Kia southbound Mariah.
Randy, I'd love to give all our customers our best deal. 2024 Kia Forte LXS gets 41 MPG highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 282 miles EPA estimated range will get you where you want to go in the 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month, plus a 2024 Telluride LX, $357 a month. Both $39.99 due at signing and 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9 and peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, we'll make you happy at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah.
Brian L. It's silly season in the life of your roof. I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. The weather can be unpredictable, and I'm ready to get more life out of your roof with our award-winning Owens Corning repair team. We're the repair guys the other repair guys call when they can't find the problem. Leaks become black mold when ignored. That's why when you call me, I start my inspection in the attic. Is it time for a beautiful new roof? 867-0303. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you an estimate right over the phone. The best warranty in the business, including a warranty against ice dams. The only roofer in Memphis to offer a warranty against water intrusion due to snow buildup. Ask about military and first responder discounts. 901-867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
The SEC spring meetings underway in Destin, Florida today, although yesterday a group of media members were able to get some comments from Commissioner Greg Sankey. Interesting, Greg Sankey said that Congress still has an opportunity to use the structure of the settlement to enact legislation to strengthen the future of college sports. He said it's a national system that deserves national standards. What do you think about Congress getting involved in structuring what's going on in the world of sports, NIL-wise, portal-wise, just everything that's changed now, them kind of making the rules and regulations that hopefully would be unified across the board?
Well, I think for NIL, again, there needs to be something universal rather than different state by state for NIL.
I agree.
Whether Congress is going to do that, I don't know. But I mean, the NIL with the differences from state to state just causes all kinds of issues, and it'd be nice to have one universal rule on what it is.
Isn't it interesting that there's just no faith in the governing body of collegiate sports, the NCAA, to come up with any kind of rules and regulations because they lack the power, whereas states, have gone out and
they
made
can't do
their
anything
own.
once the states started doing that. I mean, again, the NCAA screwed up by waiting and putting it where the states decided to start making these laws. But the NCAA can't do anything about that.
Yeah, not sure, if there's going to be anything earth-shattering coming out of the meetings this week. They asked him about scheduling for the future, and he said our schedules are set for the next couple of years as far as going to, 9? What are they at now, 8 conference?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the question has been for the last couple of years, would they go to 9? And he said, yeah, we're non-committal on that right now. We got schedules for the next couple of years. Auto racing, we don't talk a lot about that, but my gosh, I don't know what time you got home from the game. You probably didn't see it. Maybe you did, but there was a long weather delay in Indianapolis. The thought was they wouldn't even get the 500 in on Sunday. They would have to do it on Monday. They got it in. And on the last lap, maybe the last half lap, it was the defending champion, Joseph Newgarden from the U.S., passing the Mexican driver. I forget his name now, but it was a great pass, and it was the checker flag for Newgarden for a second straight year. That had not happened, back-to-back Indy 500 wins for the same driver since Helio Castroneves, who did it, I think, in 01 and 02. Kyle Larson, who was trying to do the twofer, the NASCAR driver, with the delays, they said, I thought he was going to have to fly back to get ready for the Coca-Cola 600. Instead, he remained there. He raced. He finished 18th. It could have been higher, but he had a penalty in the pits for going too fast. He locked his brakes and ended up 18th. And then he gets on a chopper, then a plane, then a chopper. They get him to Charlotte for the 600, which also was hampered by weather. And he's ready to jump into the car that I think it was Allgaier was driving for him to jump in during the break, and then they called the race. So it ended up being a win for Christopher Bell. He led 90 laps. The race was called after only 151 laps. of the 200. But Christopher Bell wins, and Larson ends up not being able to ride or race in both of the races. Here's the thing, too, with NASCAR. There's a rule that says you're ineligible for the playoffs unless you start every single race. But there's exceptions to the rule. So I'm certain that they wouldn't allow Larson to stay and race at Indy if there wasn't going to be an exception to the rule. But he says he hopes to get this opportunity again in the future to try to race both. The only one that has done it, I think 5 guys have done it where they've raced both, but the only one who's done it and raced every lap, I think it was Tony Stewart, the Indy 500 and then the Coca-Cola 600. Well, folks, I've been talking about Shoot 360 Memphis for quite some time now, and they're getting ready to move into their state-of-the-art facility in Cordova on June 1st. That's coming up this weekend. The move from Collierville, this place is unreal. If you are a basketball player, you are looking to get better, you're looking to perfect your shot, you need to head to Shoot 360 Memphis and be a part of what they're offering. It's the same system that stars use. I mean, NBA stars like Steph Curry. He has absolutely used this system. What is this system? It's a revolutionary training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with expert coaching to improve shooting skills. The facility is equipped with advanced shooting machines that provide real-time feedback on shooting accuracy and arc and depth. Players can track their progress, analyze their performance, and players of all skill levels can benefit from the personalized training programs they offer. So everything you need to become the better basketball player, the better shooter, is inside this facility, the instructors, the technology, the equipment. Again, they're moving to Cordova from Collierville. You can register now for that move. Just go to Shoot 360 Memphis to sign up. Call the great folks at Shoot 360 Memphis, 901-316-5500. It's where the preps and the pros go to get their shot on. It's Shoot 360 Memphis. When we come back, busy hour number 3. Mickey Barker joins us for our weekly golf segment. And then Brent Rooker from the Oakland A's will join us at 9:30. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
I've got Rockin' Ronnie Smith on the line at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. And Ronnie, it's the season for the Memorial Day sales event.
It's time to rock, Randy, in your new 2023 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4-wheel drive. $25,889 or $389 a month. That's $5,206 off MSRP. How about a 2024 Dodge Hornet GT all-wheel drive, packing up to 268 horsepower, plus 295 pound-feet of torque, 32,320, plus power up in our 2023 Dodge Charger SXT 4-door, $28,072. That's over $9,000 off MSRP.
So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike, or online anytime, GossettMotorcars.net.
All 75 months at 8.99 APR, 3,500 down, Renegade Triple P 56,520, MSRP 31,095, Charger PH 636,171, MSRP 37,120, Hornet R3A 152,64, MSRP 34,820. Price includes all rebates and incentives and excludes PF 695. Payments includes PF 695. All exclude tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Dealer stock only.
Robert is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
I am Robert Strickler. My wife Joyce and I have been married for 53 years. Certainly one of the really important things in my life are our children and our grandchildren. I am essentially a writer. I've been involved in communications. I've been an avid fly fisherman. I've been taking Prevagen for at least 8 years. For me, the greatest benefit over the years has been that Prevagen seems to help me recall things and also think more clearly, have a crisper ability to remember and think through things. And I enthusiastically recommend Prevagen. It has helped me an awful lot.
Prevagen is available in stores everywhere without a prescription. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Hi, it's the Herd. The action's heating up at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. It's quick. Use the code HERD, H-E-R-D, for new customers to get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500 if your first bet doesn't hit. only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. One no-sweat bet per new customer issued is one bonus bet based on amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.co/bball for eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Ken Garland, you are in your 72nd year of business. Your son William is now joining you. What do you think is the key to your longevity in the building business?
My dad started the business in 1965, and I think being on the job sites daily and being accessible to homeowners has been a key to our success.
You guys have a work ethic, as you like to say. You're not hiring people to be on the site. You guys are there every day.
We interact with the subcontractors multiple times a day on each job site. I think that has been a key, as well as using the same subcontractors 20 plus years in most cases.
When you talk about materials, what is the first thing you're thinking about when somebody comes to you to build a home?
We're just trying to meet the expectations of the client and the homeowner and the architect and give them what their dream is.
When you get a Ken Garland home, what do you guarantee?
We'll be there after the job is finished. We're still accessible to all our clients.
Now I need to know, how do I get a hold of Ken Garland?
You can reach us at kengarland.com.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis. This traffic report brought to you by Appliance Liquidators with low prices and top-notch customer service. Appliance Liquidators, 3320 Goodman Road East in South Haven.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still some traffic volume trying to get across the bridge over here on I-40 coming eastbound out of West Memphis, and 55 as well. It's starting to get a little bit heavier than it was the last few minutes on 240 east up by Poplar. Had some problems with some traffic lights a little bit earlier up in Bartlett with some power outages. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:06 the time. Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you. Currently 75 degrees. We'll get up to 89 today. Sunshine, a little bit of clouds. And then tonight, 68 degrees for a low and mostly clear skies. Should be a very, very nice day. Nice day to go out and play golf, which we'll talk about in just a second with Mickey Barker. Jenkins Floors and More is the third hour sponsor of Sports 56 Mornings. They're at 6 East Commerce in Hernando, Mississippi. They're also in Little Rock and Cleveland, Mississippi. But the big news, they are moving the Hernando operations to Horn Lake, 2356 Goodman Road. They're opening up this weekend, June 1st. So closer to the metropolitan Memphis area, Jenkins Floors and More. They specialize in flooring and carpeting. If it's variety you're looking for, they have it. SPC, WPC vinyls, which are scratch resistant and waterproof. They got ceramic and porcelain tiles, hardwoods by Portercraft, carpeting from Southern Luxury Carpet, backsplashes for your kitchens and bathrooms, and so much more. They sell it wholesale, skipping the middleman, saving you lots of money for both residential and commercial. So homeowners, contractors, do yourself a favor. See what Jenkins Floors and More has to offer. They will install. They'll do so in an unheard of 2-week turnaround. Financing is available. Just call them or stop by their current location in Hernando, again, Cleveland, Mississippi, Little Rock, and ask for the free estimate. They'll come to you. Call them at 662-469-9350. Great family, great service. Open Monday through Saturday. It's Jenkins Floors and More. Time now for Mickey Barker.
It's time to hit the links and talk some golf. It's Mickey and Friends. Mickey Barker, administrator of golf for the Bluff City, joins Greg and Eli each week. Now, here's Mickey Barker with Greg and Eli.
He is one of the busiest men in show business. He's the golf administrator for the city of Memphis. He's also a Hall of Fame golfer from Lipscomb University. He is Mickey Barker. You can follow him on Twitter at MickeyBarker1. Hey, Mickey.
Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Busy time. Lots to get into. We'll have another special guest as well. But first, I do have to ask for your thoughts on the tragedy over the weekend. Grayson Murray, who took his own life at the age of 30, a winner on the PGA Tour just this year, who was playing in the Colonial this past weekend.
Sure. Just a really tough situation. Grayson, from what I understand, has struggled with mental health issues for a long time and, had really got things turned around, got back out on tour, won last year at the Korn Ferry Tour in Knoxville this past week.
Right.
And then, got back on the regular tour, won in Hawaii, and then was doing really well. Had a top 10 at Wells Fargo in Charlotte just a couple weeks ago. So really tough situation.
It's, I think, as I said earlier, like these people that have dealt with the issues, even when you think they've gotten it all kind of taken care of and things are good, because it looked like things were good in his life, he was sober, all of these things, and then this kind of comes out of nowhere. And so if you've got those people in your life, you want to make sure you're constantly checking on them and making sure they're doing all right.
Absolutely. It's one of those things you just don't see that coming. From the outside, from our side, looking at the media, it just looked like that he had everything going. He was going the right direction. He was a winner. Obviously, he was a millionaire. Things couldn't be better. But as you can see, those things don't matter.
And the PGA Tour has made sure that the golfers themselves, the caddies, everybody associated with the tour, they have people to go to. If they're having trouble with this, if they're having trouble kind of swallowing what just happened, there are people there for them, professionals that do these type of things. So it's nice that they're reaching out to the players, the caddies, and everybody associated with the PGA. All right, around here, a lot going on. We get each and every week the update on Audubon. We know that will be opening up in August. We can't wait for that. But in the meantime, you're going to do some things over at Audubon, including a First Tee team camp.
Right. Our partnership with the First Tee Tennessee here in Memphis is getting stronger and stronger. Someday we hope for Audubon to be the hub of First Tee Tennessee here in Memphis and have their home base there and move them up from Whitehaven where they currently are now. So we're going to start our first programming there at the new Audubon driving range. The driving range itself is not open to the public yet, but it is usable. We just don't have the parking for the public. So we're going to have our first team camp put on by the First Tee. It's going to start on June 4th. It'll be on Wednesday evenings at from 5 to 6:30, 90-minute class. There is a charge for that, but if people... there are scholarships available, and really all you have to do is ask, and those scholarships will be awarded.
Correction, the 4th, is that not a Tuesday?
That's right. It would be on the 5th, yeah.
The 5th, okay. Just want to make sure.
Sorry,
okay.
yes.
You also have, and we've talked about, you guys do a lot as far as clinics, for kids. You do a lot for kids, women's clinics, things like that as well, to introduce people to the game of golf.
We are. We've always done a certain amount, but we've been a little bit limited by the amount of driving ranges that we had that, where we didn't have to go out on the golf course and disrupt play. But now with the new Pine Hill driving range open, we've always had Whitehaven. We're going to be able to start some clinics, some junior clinics, some women's clinics, some. We've already done some veterans clinics, and our first will be we're going to start a junior and women's clinic at Pine Hill that will be taught by one of our golf professionals, one of our new golf professionals, Ryan Bell. He's a assistant facility manager, is what we call him through the city. But we were able to hire 4 of those over the last couple months, one for each of the 18-hole golf courses. So we're excited to have a little more full-time help with us.
I wanted to ask you about, with Audubon, and we're going to have a 6-hole course to go along with the 18-hole course. Have you set prices yet? I've been asked about this question. Have you set prices yet for the 6-hole?
We have not officially set price. We are looking at a per round rate so that you could go out and somebody that just wanted to play all 6 holes one time, we'd have a very low one-time round, and then we would have another hourly rate where you could play 2, 3, 4 hours, something like that, where you could just go round and round and round for a set price. What we are not going to allow is people just to hit the same shot over and over and over, and we wouldn't have any grass left on the course. But we will play it like a regular golf course, but we will have a price for you to play multiple rounds in a day.
Do you expect Audubon to become the jewel of the city courses? Is it like the newest one that's being renovated and all this work being put in that? Because it's always been, I think Galloway would be looked at as that. Will Audubon, is that the goal? Is Audubon becomes the kind of the top of the mountain?
Well, with our guest that's coming on today, we're not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
Sean's not on yet. You noticed. I didn't put him on yet for that.
But we feel like it's going to be our most championship level golf course that we have. It's going to be our biggest property. It's going to have the most amenities of any of our courses. So we feel like it's going to be probably, it may not be the busiest. Galloway's probably always going to have that title as being the busiest, but it will be the one that people have to play when they come to town.
That's the thing. I mean, obviously, brand new is always good. And I mean, just on property size alone, I mean, it's a massive property. Plus, I mean, and Galloway's the same thing, but like those locations of those golf courses, like right in the heart of East Memphis, you can't get much better than that.
Right. You just couldn't purchase a piece of property like those two. It just would not be feasible. And to have those pieces since the early 1900s, it's just phenomenal.
And before we bring on Sean, for the clinics at Pine Hill to get greens, a tee time, give us the numbers that everybody needs to know.
MemphisPublicLinks.com is where everything is located. Go there, you get phone numbers, you get time, you get tee times, you get pricing, everything you need there. And my email address is even at the bottom of each page. So if you need something, just email me.
Well, here's a guy I run into quite often because I play a lot over at Galloway. He's the facility manager at the Links at Galloway. Sean McFetrich joins us now on the program. Sean, how are you this morning?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
So do you have any guesstimate, you or Mickey, of how many trees there are at Galloway?
Too many would be my answer.
The reason I bring that in is because I drive by the course and to and from going to work or going anywhere because I live right around there. And I noticed the tree that was down that is not impeding the course at all. It's not on the 18th fairway, but it's out there toward the street. Did that come down with the storm or was it just old age and the thing just collapsed?
So the funny thing about that limb is it's not even our tree. It was actually, if you look right along Walnut Grove, it's from a house on the other side of the street. And it did come down in the storm a couple nights ago, and it looks like Memphis Public Works kind of dragged it onto the golf course to get it out of the street.
Oh, wow.
So my crew has worked on that a little bit, trying to clear it up. Yeah, luckily, as you said, it's not really in play, but we do have a little bit more work to do to get rid of that.
So you're saying there's too many trees on the golf course, and here they're adding trees to your golf course.
Exactly. As Mickey knows, and he might have told you guys before, trees and turf don't get along real well. So any trees that we have come down that aren't vital to play, we try not to replace those just to help the quality of the course.
I think if this is accurate, Mickey, the most rounds played on any city golf course is Galloway.
That's correct, yes.
So, Sean, how have things gone so far? Here we are in late May getting ready for that big summer push.
Well, so I happened to look at my watch this morning at 6:03, and I had 2 groups on number 1, 2 groups on number 10, and a group on number 11.
Wow.
So it's summertime at Galloway, and that's what we're used to. It's kind of almost something that we're proud of.
Sure.
It helps the days go faster. But yeah, we're, my superintendent Bo Reynolds and his crew have the course in great shape. Obviously our location is central to most people in the city, so we expect to have that much play, and we kind of strive to make it to make our course worth having that much play, if that makes any sense.
With the fact that it gets light as early as it does now, so what is the first tee time you have available on a daily basis?
Yeah, so our tee sheet starts at 7, but quite honestly, if we're not here, so this morning I was here about 5:40. As the summer goes towards a little bit longer, there'll be days we get here at 5:30 because it kind of becomes chaos around here if you're not here that early. So tee sheet starts at 7, but we normally tell people that, this time of the summer, we're here by 6 if they happen to be inclined to get out that early and play.
I can confirm, driving to the show today, passing Galloway, 6:20 on my right as I pass the 18th fairway, gentlemen hitting into the 18th green. How is that even possible?
So that's one of our regulars who happens to live about a block down the street, and so he has like a standing 7 o'clock tee time. And instead of coming to the golf course first, he starts on 18, and then ends on 17. So that's not abnormal.
That's crazy. I was like, how's this guy played 18 holes or even 9 playing the back 9 first that quickly? There's the answer. Sean has the answer.
We've always said that Galloway could be a perfect sitcom because you've got all these characters that they're there all the time, and it's just a lot of things that could happen, and it would make a great sitcom.
With all the rain we've had, what has that done as far as condition of the golf course?
Yeah, we drain pretty well. Obviously, the rain we've had the last couple of nights, or this last week, hasn't been really. We haven't had standing water for the most part. In the low spots or even in the bunkers. Yesterday we were a little wet. We probably could have gotten off the cart path. We were cart path only yesterday. The thing about Galloway is if we let the carts off when it's wet out there, the acreage is so small and our land is so small that all the carts tend to go in the same spots. So we have to be kind of careful of that. But my crew, luckily we have a bunch of our college guys home for the summer. So we've got our biggest crew that we'll have this time of the year, and they've been able to keep things pretty playable this last week. So we've been a little moist, but everything is pretty in good shape. And now with the sun and the warm temperatures, the grass is just going to explode. So we're in good shape, ready for golfers to come see us.
Well, it looks beautiful. I mean, it's so green, and like I said, I have the pleasure of playing there an awful lot. It's just it's a great golf course, great little fun challenge for guys, especially at my level. If you're shooting 3 under par every time, it's you're going to find it maybe a little bit easy. But as far as anybody, just an average golfer out there to even above average, it's a challenge. There's fun holes. I just love what you guys did when the renovations happened. What should other folks out there who don't know Galloway, Sean, what do they need to know before they decide to get a tee time and play Galloway?
Well, I get the first thing I'm going to say is I guess I've been challenged now that Audubon's going to be the crown jewel. So we'll have to work on that. It is, as you were saying, it's a great course because you still have to hit all the shots, but you can get away with some stuff here that you might not normally be able to at some of the other longer, tougher courses. So it's fun. It's fun to play, but still a little bit of a challenge. So the big thing to think about is tee time. So we get people that call Thursday or Friday for a Saturday tee time. And that's pretty tough here. So you want to, if you can be preemptive and think ahead a little bit, either going online or calling us, 7 days in advance to make the time. We'll try to work you in if we can. If you don't have a tee time, but there are sometimes we just get a little too busy to do that. But yeah, come see us. We'd love to have you. We'll help you out however we can to get you on the course and experience why we do 50 to 55,000 rounds a year.
And when you go out there, have the BLT.
I was just going to say
that's really the main recommendation.
The world famous BLT.
Have the BLT when you're out there.
It is, yeah, definitely. I've been here long enough, and Mickey can probably attest to this. I've kind of lost the bacon smell that everybody else gets. But yeah, we'll have people that are driving by and say they smelled it and pulled around and came to get a sandwich. So it's definitely worth checking out.
Get on out there if you haven't had a chance to, or if you've done it before, make sure you play Galloway. He is Sean McFetrich. He's the PGA facility manager at the Links of Galloway. When you see Sean, say hi to him. Sean, take care. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
You too.
The BLT at Galloway is it is the top of the line when it comes to golf course food in the area.
It is amazing how each course kind of takes on its own character. Like Fox Meadows, if you go there, they have BLTs, they have turkey sandwiches, but they have hamburgers. You go to Fox, and it's the hamburger. Go to Galloway, it's the BLT. Now at Audubon, it's going to have to build its own character when we start back up and see
Caviar? Will it be caviar?
Could be.
Does Bruno want some caviar out there?
It very well may be. It's going to be the Taj Mahal out there. So.
Well, Mickey, we're looking forward to it. We're, of course, looking forward to anytime we can play golf on any of these great courses is always a good day. He is Mickey Barker. He is the administrator of golf for the city of Memphis, the Hall of Fame golfer from Lipscomb University. You can follow him on Twitter at MickeyBarker1. He joins us each and every Tuesday to talk some golf here in the city of Memphis. Thank you, Mickey.
Thanks, Rick.
Appreciate it. Folks, I want to tell you about Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. Call Brandon McCullough at 901-438-5084 or go online to newroofmemphis.com. They offer financing with different plans and options to choose from, including a 6, 12, or 18-month seamless cash option. They'll work with your insurance company or out of pocket. A lot of rain recently. I'm sure that has done some damage to a lot of people's roofs. They do residential and commercial roofing, so owners of businesses, property managers, of course, homeowners as well. If you have any leak or problem with your roof, call them today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. You get a 5-year labor warranty on the purchase of a new roof. All their work, satisfaction guaranteed, including carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters. They can install shingles, put up fencing, siding, rotten wood repair. Whatever you can't do yourself, call the experts at Pinnacle. Quality work at a very good price. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration, locally owned and operated. Call Brandon today. Tell him you heard it here on Sports 56 Mornings, 901-438-5084, or online at newroofmemphis.com. When we come back, we are scheduled to be joined by Oakland A's outfielder / DH, the pride of ECS and Mississippi State, Brent Rooker. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You know, sometimes I wish I had a gun.
Well, I'm armed, but before I bought one, I still went to Top Gun Academy to learn to protect myself without a gun.
How is that possible?
Top Gun's personal protection training. It's perfect if you want to protect yourself without firearms.
I don't know.
And it's perfect if you feel the need to carry a gun for self-defense, because the last thing you really want to do is shoot.
That is scary.
Not at Top Gun. It's very comfortable, and you learn to load, handle, and shoot a handgun safely. Protect yourself. Go to Top Gun Academy. They're at 2770 Winton Road.
Hi, folks, the Chevy Sheriff with good news for car and truck buyers. The Sunrise Chevy Ranch has acres of new Chevys and GM certified in stock, ready for immediate delivery. A $6 million used car inventory and cars and trucks for every budget, and a lot specializing in cars and trucks under $99.95. If you've been turned down by another dealer, see us at Sunrise. We specialize in financing, and SunriseMemphis.com is home of guaranteed credit approval. Cars and trucks may not be free, but at least they're affordable at Sunrise. Together, let's drive to the Sunrise Chevy Ranch, 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
It's silly season in the life of your roof. I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. The weather can be unpredictable, and I'm ready to get more life out of your roof with our award-winning Owens Corning repair team. We're the repair guys the other repair guys call when they can't find the problem. Leaks become black mold when ignored. That's why when you call me, I start my inspection in the attic. Is it time for a beautiful new roof? 867-0303. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you an estimate right over the phone. The best warranty in the business, including a warranty against ice dams. The only roofer in Memphis to offer a warranty against water intrusion due to snow buildup. Ask about military and first responder discounts. 901-867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. 2024 is halfway over. What's something you've done this year that you're proud of? Keep up the good work with a moment every week to hit pause and reset in therapy. BetterHelp offers affordable online therapy on a flexible schedule. Take a moment with BetterHelp. Just visit betterhelp.com/succeed today and you'll get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/succeed.
It's time to get to Gossett Kia on the Pike so Bobby J can put you in your new Kia today. Want summer fun and 41 MPG? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win? $249 a month. Get extra room and extra fun with 2024 Kia Telluride LX. $357 a month, both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease, plus 0% APR for 48 months. Available on the all-new Kia EV9. And peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So hurry to Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike. Online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Include all rebates and incentives. Price excludes $695 PF. Lease includes PF $695, $650 acquisition fee, EV6, P5610964, MSRP $50,200, Telluride RG $510,849, MSRP $38,305, Forte LXS RE $781,69, MSRP $21,820. Plus finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:29 is the time. Brent Rooker scheduled to join us here in the next few moments. The A's are on the East Coast. They're down in Florida, taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Yesterday, we may have seen the end of an unbelievable run for one of tennis world's greatest tennis players, Rafa Nadal, who lost in straight sets to Zverev at the French Open. I can't imagine, even though he hasn't said officially it's his last Open, I can't imagine he'll come back. But listen to this. He won 112 of 116 French Open matches. That's 96.5% of his matches. The highest winning percentage of any singles tennis player in a major in the history of the game. That's how good Rafa Nadal was. But again, it looked like it came to an end. A lot of his compatriots, a lot of his former rivals, his adversaries were there to watch that match against Zverev.
Pretty shocking to see him out in the first round of the French.
No, I mean,
I thought
and straight sets.
I thought like 95 years old he could go to the French and win a few matches.
Hey, Father Time, man, right? Father Time gets us all. There's no question about that. We'll talk some college baseball towards the end of the show. Again, the field is set for the NCAA tournament. We'll tell you which teams from the SEC host regionals and the matchups from some of these teams, some of these games that'll be coming up starting later on in the week.
I'm going to guess that Brent's probably a little upset, like everybody else, that Mississippi State is not hosting. Most people thought they were going to get that opportunity to host.
I'm sure he's a little upset at that, but I'm sure he's very happy about the recent World Series championship. Without further ado, he is an all-star for the Oakland A's, DH and outfielder, the pride of ECS and Mississippi State. He's Brent Rooker. You can follow him on Twitter at Brent_Rooker12. The A's getting set for their game with the Rays, and Brent kind enough to join us here on Sports 56 Mornings. Brent, how are you?
Hey, guys. What's up? Doing well.
Thanks for joining us. We've been trying for a while now, and I'll tell you, your organization does a great job in efforting that, and we really appreciate you doing that. I know it's not the easiest thing to do, especially to get up when you have all those night games, but it worked out with you guys being on the East Coast. Let's start there before we get into your season and your career with Mississippi State. You know, having had that tremendous career with the Bullies, having recently won a World Series title, you know, most people thought they would certainly host a regional this year. That's not the case, but, you know, what a great program and what they have done over the years down in Starkville.
Yeah, man, it is. It's those guys have had a good year. They kind of I know that their season started off a little bit lower than they would have liked, but they picked it up. They played really well in conference play, especially kind of later in the conference schedule. And going into the selection show, I know they were just kind of right on the bubble. I know the expectation was they would be one of the last few teams to get a host spot if they did. It didn't work out, but going to the Charlottesville regional and play in Virginia, I think we got a really good chance to win that one. We got a lot of talent, and the guys are playing well at the right time, so that'd be fun to watch.
From your time there, what's it like playing in that atmosphere at the college level of what they do down there in Starkville?
It's a lot of fun. It makes your college experience unique, and it makes the games enjoyable. And once you kind of get used to playing in that atmosphere in Starkville, and even the ones in Baton Rouge or in Fayetteville, you're not going to get to play in something like that again until you get to the big leagues. So it's special. What we have is unique. It's the best. It's been the best atmosphere in college baseball for a while, and now it matches up with the new stadium with the best facilities as well. So it's a tremendous recruiting tool. It helps you get the best players on campus, and it helps guys play well while they're there.
Oakland A's outfielder DH Brent Rooker joining us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest lines. Brent leading the A's in hitting at 286, home runs at 11, RBI at 34. It was a slower start to your season, and I know you battled some injuries, but you've come back strong. Give us a little update on everything that's happened so far early here in this season.
Yeah, first week, then I just didn't play like I wanted to. Baseball, game's hard, happens sometimes, and then dealt with an injury. Spent a week or so on the IL, and then came back and have been really pleased with how I've played since I came back from the IL. I was able to kind of make some adjustments. I learned a lot last year, obviously, about what it looks like just taking major league at bats day in, day out. Kind of what that grind looks like. What's needed to be able to go in and compete every day, and I've done a really good job, I think, of making the necessary adjustments and playing well, swinging well, and being pretty productive to come back from the IL. So just looking to continue that throughout the year and see where the season takes us.
Obviously, it's a weird situation in Oakland with the move planned to Vegas. But so what's it like playing there right now, where really the fans don't like the team, don't like the ownership, they don't want to support it because the move, everything else that's going on, and are you able to kind of just block all of that out?
Yeah, we do a good job of just kind of focusing on the things that we can control. Fans in Oakland are wonderful. I've had an incredible experience the last 2 seasons. They're incredibly passionate about their team. They're passionate about their city, and they treat us as players really well. The fans do a great job of that. We always feel, obviously, attendance numbers aren't very big, but the fans that do show up are kind of. It's a consistent group that kind of shows up to every game, and so you get to know some of them on a personal level, which is a lot of fun, and they always make us feel supported. So Oakland it's a great city with a great sports background, obviously, and some wonderful people who are really passionate about their team, and that's all they're trying to do is make that known.
Well, it's turned everything around for you. Certainly, the move to Oakland, they picked you up. I've been following your career, and you started out after being selected as high as you did by the Twins, just crushing it at every level in the minor leagues. And then you can maybe talk about your start to your professional career once you got the call to the bigs, but you eventually get picked up by the Oakland A's, and since that acquisition a few years ago, you've been playing like gangbusters for the A's, an all-star last year, off to another great start this year. So it's kind of changed your career in a great direction, a positive direction. But give us a little bit about the start to where you are now.
Yeah, absolutely. I debuted in 2020, which was the COVID season, so a little bit of a unique situation there. Played 7 or 8 games, played really well. I got hit by a pitch and broke my arm, so missed the rest of that season. And then 21 and 22, just kind of spent bouncing back and forth between the major leagues and AAA with 3 teams, really, with Minnesota, with San Diego, and with Kansas City. And it was some limited opportunity, wasn't able to kind of stick and wasn't able to perform well enough at the major league level to establish myself as a full-time guy, as an everyday guy. And the reason for that is just the difference between major leagues and AAA is enormous. Kind of like you said, whenever I was in AAA, I would put up really good numbers. I'd be one of the best players there, and I just couldn't really make that jump to being consistently successful at the major league level. And then finally got an opportunity with Oakland to play every day to get really consistent at bats and try to establish myself. And since I was given that opportunity, I was able to do that. I was able to learn and adjust and grow as a player and do what I needed to do to kind of prove to myself and prove to everyone else that I was good enough to be an everyday major league guy and to be a pretty good one.
Where do you stand, like, contract-wise? How long left on your contract? When do you get to become a free agent and those type of things?
So I'm Oakland has control over me until after the 27 season. So I have this year and then 3 more years of team control left.
That's security.
Yeah,
right?
and obviously with them, who knows what might happen if they end up making a move, but certainly with the way you're performing, obviously it's going to open up plenty of opportunities. How much do you, as a hitter, use all of the various analytics? Because now I know they got this new bat tracking thing to see how hard guys are swinging and all that launch angle. How much of those things do you apply kind of on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, as far as, I would say not many on a daily basis.
Okay.
Big picture things I do look at a lot, and I use as much information as I can get my hands on. I know there's a lot of guys who don't like it, who just kind of they hit by feel. They don't want the information available, and I'm not one of those guys. I want as much information as I can get. So I'll look at a bunch of the advanced analytics, a bunch of the peripheral stats, from time to time, just to make sure that what I'm doing is what I want to be doing, right? I want to make sure that my swing is in a position where I'm hitting the ball hard consistently. I'm hitting the ball at the right launch angle consistently, because I know if I do those two things, then the results and the traditional stats will follow, because it's just kind of how it works. If you hit the ball hard, if you hit the ball at the right angle consistently enough, that the numbers that everyone knows about are going to be there in the end.
So what are the? Because obviously it's baseball. Like, you could hit the ball, hit rockets every time, and it goes right at somebody.
Sure.
Other times you'll hit a little blooper that falls. What are the numbers like that you're looking at to tell you whether you're performing well?
Yeah, I look at, hard hit percentage is big, barrel percentage is big, and then kind of go into what you're talking about. Expected stats for me are important, because if I'm going up there and every single time you're hitting the ball 100, 105 miles an hour, but you're hitting it right at guys, or you're lining out the outfielders, or guys are making diving plays left and right, then the traditional batting average, the traditional slugging percentage might not be there, but it's because you're getting unlucky, right? If your expected stats tell you that your expected batting average is whatever you want, 350, your expected slugging is 600, but the traditional stats are lower than that. It tells you you're just getting really unlucky, but you're doing your job when you go up to the plate. You're hitting the ball hard. You're giving yourself a chance to have success, and if you just kind of continue your process and keep doing the things that you're doing, those stats are going to normalize over time.
Brent Rooker is joining us from the Oakland A's. He's getting ready for the A's and the Rays tonight, and joining us from Tampa on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest lines. So, again, you were at Mississippi State. It wasn't that long ago. So you've been a professional now for only so many years. The game has really evolved. These pitchers are crazy. I'm looking at what Skeens is doing in Pittsburgh to start his career. How has that evolved? Because you're studying these pitchers, you're studying their arsenals. Have you seen a big difference? Obviously, in the level going up and playing in the bigs as opposed to the minors and college, but pitchers that are consistently throwing 3 digits, their breaking pitches dropping 18 inches. What do you see as far as the evolution of these pitchers that you've had to face?
Yeah, the velocity obviously is the main thing. Guys are throwing harder than they ever have, more consistently than they ever have. There's the top end velocity obviously is always going to be where it is with the 102, 103, but there's so many guys now that just go out there consistently 97, 98, 99. It's not just a handful of anomaly guys anymore. It's just a regular occurrence, especially with guys in the back end of bullpens. So the velocity is higher. And the ability for guys to, the use of TrackMan, the use of Rapsodo, the ability of guys have to specifically design pitches for their arsenal, whether it be using spin axis or seam shifted wake or changing their grip or whatever else they want to use to be able to kind of tweak breaking balls to make them move and spin and break exactly how they want them to be most effective is another thing. And then as far as pitching goes through trends right now, the trend is a lot more guys throwing splitters. And that's kind of been a trend in the big leagues this year, which is a tough pitch to hit, especially when you can, like I said, when you have slow motion cameras, when you have track lanes and things like that, and you can design the splitter and you can make it do exactly what you want it to with your grip and how much you pronate it and how you release it and all these other things. Just makes it that much more challenging as a hitter, but that's just kind of the way things are moving. Technology continues to advance in terms of player development on the pitching side. So as hitters, we just got to kind of deal with it. You got to make the adjustment. You got to go up there and compete, and it's harder than ever to do that, but that's what makes it fun.
I would assume as a hitter you like that they got rid of the shifts, but what do you think of the rule changes they've made from the pitch clock and everything else? Do you like all of the moves?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I think after the first month or two last year, it kind of got getting used to it and making the adjustments necessary. But I think for the most part, it's been good for the game. It's been, stolen bases went up, which is exciting. The average time of game went down, which for the viewer makes tuning into games and makes watching full games a little bit more doable. And the pace of the game the last few years has been really good as well. So I think it took a little bit of adjusting for guys to just kind of get used to it. But I think since that happened, I think it's been good for the sport overall.
All right, let me go rapid fire here. Favorite city to go to?
Boston.
Favorite stadium to play in?
Seattle.
Hardest pitcher you faced?
What's the answer to this one? I'm going to say Matt Brash.
Okay. Who do you think the best player is in baseball?
Man, that's a good question. If Shohei's pitching, it's Shohei just because of the uniqueness.
Mm-hmm.
This year, it's Mookie or it's Bobby Witt or it's Gunnar Henderson or it's Kyle Tucker. It's one of those four guys this year.
What was it like, before we let you go? At ECS, obviously you played baseball, but you were a quarterback, and did your team win the state or go to the states?
We got beat. Let's see. We got beat in the semifinals my sophomore year and got beat in the championship my senior year.
So how close were you? And I remember you as a football player. Of course, I remember you as a baseball player, but I do vaguely remember you as a football player. I was out of local television by that time, so I wasn't covering the preps as much. But was there any thought on, I might go this direction in sports, or was it always going to be baseball?
No, I mean, I wanted to play college football. That's what I initially wanted to do. Really? I had some interest in some smaller schools, some FCS schools, kind of things like that. And then as soon as SEC opportunities started showing up for baseball, it kind of shifted that direction. Just because I was a decent football player. I could have played at a smaller D1 school, I think, and had some success and been pretty good. I wasn't good enough to go to the SEC or play high level D1 like that. So as soon as those kind of opportunities started showing up for baseball, my attention shifted. But early in high school, even kind of into my junior year, football is definitely what I wanted to do.
Going back to your answer, why Seattle as your favorite ballpark?
Man, that park is just beautiful. It's the atmosphere there is great. The stadium itself is really pretty. It's cool that they have the roof, but it's not completely enclosed. So it's just kind of like a big umbrella. If it's raining, they slide it over, and it's you're inside, but it kind of still feels like an outside environment. And then also, as players, the behind the scenes stuff is important to us too. So the food in Seattle's good. The visiting clubhouse guys are good. The visiting clubhouse is a good place to hang out. They do a good job with that stuff too. So that weighs in as well.
Last question. So you have so much downtime. There's so many trips. There's so many games. You're on the road for 81, and then playoffs if you get to the playoffs. What do you do for fun or to enjoy, or are you just sleeping all day? What are you doing before you have to go to the ballpark?
No, I get up most mornings, depending on the city we're in, and walk around, go eat breakfast somewhere, kind of get to see the city. There's certain cities that you want to get out and do more stuff in than others, but for the most part, I like to get up in the morning, get out, walk around. Like I said, go get coffee, go eat breakfast, do something, because you can get stuck in a pattern of just kind of laying in bed all day until you go to the field, and then you go from the hotel to the field, from the field to the hotel, and that's all you do. And that gets kind of monotonous and gets kind of boring.
Sure.
So I do what I can to get out, especially in some of the cooler cities. Get out and go see some stuff, walk around, and just kind of enjoy the traveling aspect of it.
Well, it's been great keeping up with the career. I know it's going to be a long, fruitful career. Hopefully another all-star appearance this year. You're putting up those type of numbers. Brent, we really appreciate it. You got a lot of fans here in Memphis. Keep up the great work. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, take care.
You need a tough, reliable tractor to tackle those tough chores? We'll go see the folks at Mid-South Ag Equipment for the Case IH Farmall Series of tractors, bush hog equipment, and much, much more. But the Case IH Farmall Series, perfect for whatever it is you need to get done, loading, baling, tilling, mowing. They've got anything you need. They've got all different sizes, and, of course, they're one of the great values as well, so you can cut costs without having to cut corners. Go see the folks at Mid-South Ag Equipment. Check out the Case IH Farmall Series. You can find them online as well at midsouthag.com, where you can see the inventory they got, not only of new equipment, but also pre-owned equipment. You can also see any special deals that they've got on equipment going on at Mid-South Ag Equipment. They're located just south of Collierville on Goodman Road. If you take I-269 to the Goodman Road exit, they're just a half mile west. Again, you can also find them online at midsouthag.com for new equipment, pre-owned equipment, service on your current equipment. See the folks at Mid-South Ag Equipment.
Feels like we've covered about 25 different topics, and we still have one or two to get to. We'll do that in our final segment. That's coming up next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The times they are a-changin'. Bob Dylan's song is even more meaningful today in the real estate industry. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Benstorff Realtors, and in the months to come, if you decide to sell your home, you better have a knowledgeable agent to guide you through the changes that are taking place. As I tell people, it's not that you don't know the answers, you don't know the questions. So, if you or someone you know is thinking of selling, talk to 2 to 3 experienced real estate brokers to guide you through the changes, but make sure that I am one of them. I have a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in when you sell and what you make. We're also affiliated with leading real estate companies of the world, a relocation network that means added exposure for your home from buyers moving into the Memphis area. Find out why people often say that when you want the job done, all shell done. You can reach me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
As the seasons change, so does the need for reliable home comfort. It's time to turn to the experts with Choates, where your family's comfort is our top priority. Right now, Choates is making it easier than ever to upgrade your home's climate control with our exceptional Carrier systems. There's never been a better time to enhance your comfort. Select from incredibly low monthly payments, 36 months no interest financing, or choose our $1,650 Cool Cash rebate instead and lower the upfront cost on select Carrier systems. It's not just savings, it's cool cash in your pocket. Low monthly payments, no interest financing, or cool cash rebates? Whatever you choose, you're choosing quality, reliability, and the trusted service of Choates. Call us today at 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com to learn more about these incredible savings. But hurry, these deals are as fleeting as a cool breeze on a hot day. Choates, let our family serve your family.
Hi, it's the Herd. The action's heating up at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. It's quick. Use the code HERD, H-E-R-D, for new customers. to get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500 if your first bet doesn't hit. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. One no-sweat bet per new customer issued is one bonus bet based on amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.co/bball for eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir, it's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get pre-season pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Early Monday morning to Friday.
So 11 teams from the SEC have qualified for the NCAA baseball tournament. 11 of their 14, of course, soon to have 16 total. As far as the regional hosts, Tennessee, the number one overall. Congratulations to the Vols, as they are the SEC tournament champions, winning in Hoover. Georgia will also be a regional host, Texas A&M, Arkansas, and Kentucky. From the American Conference, East Carolina will host a regional despite not winning the American Championship. That was won by Tulane, knocking off Wichita State in the championship game.
Yeah, for the SEC, I mean, having the top 3 overall seeds, 5 of the top 7 overall seeds. Pretty impressive. Tennessee will open up with Northern Kentucky on Friday. Indiana and Southern Miss are the other 2 teams in the regional. And that's where I could understand the Mississippi State people who would think, they ended with this. They had the same conference record as Georgia, and who got the 7th overall seed. And again, even if you say Georgia had a better, like the 5 teams basically that finished ahead of them in the SEC are all top 7 seeds. so the idea of thinking that you would at least be able to sneak in there as one of the top 16, I could certainly understand that. And East Carolina was one of the teams I think they thought they should have been hosting in front of. Other people said Duke actually should have probably gotten that spot. But I could certainly see for Mississippi State where you might be a little upset with the season they had in the SEC when you're talking about a conference that produces 5 of the top 7 national seeds. That's pretty impressive.
It's going to be busy in Dallas. The Dallas Stars take a 2-1 lead over the Edmonton Oilers, winning yesterday, coming back from a 2-0 deficit to win 5-3. The Rangers in the East lead the Florida Panthers 2-1 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I bring that up because if Dallas wins, they go to the Stanley Cup final. And if the Mavericks win one more game, including tonight's game against Minnesota, they go to the NBA Finals. It's going to be extremely busy in Big D.
Kyrie Irving tonight gets to put a streak on the line, 14-0 and close out games.
Wouldn't bet against him. Wouldn't bet against Corky's, folks. Had Corky's the other day. Absolutely out of this world, as it always is. They've been serving up that delicious slow-smoked barbecue for nearly 40 years, and they have been catering for that same time period. You got an event coming up, you want it catered, Corky's will take care of it for you, whether it's a little tailgating, maybe a family reunion this summer. You can hit on Corky's for lunch and dinner. At lunch, they got a lunch special every single day. And then at lunch or at dinner, you can add a third of a rack of ribs for just $7.99 when you purchase an entree, whether it's a barbecue sandwich, their award-winning catfish plate, tamales, whatever the case may be. Located at Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Pick up a Corky's gift card while you are there. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Our thanks to Mickey Barker, to Oakland A's outfielder Brent Rooker, and to Sean McFetrich from the Lynx at Galloway for joining us on the program today. We're back tomorrow for the Wednesday edition. We'll talk Grizzlies with DeMichael Cole. We'll talk Tigers basketball with Parth Upadhyay and some other surprises for you. Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 is coming up next. For Eli Savoy and for Zach Boyd, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great day, everybody.